Jake,
Dan,
can you really say enough about Qualis Roofing? One of our original sponsors, maybe our first. Qualis Roofing, QualisGC.com.
Qualis OGGC. That's right. If you need a roof like we needed at the Den, get a hold of Qualis. If you need your roof inspected, which your insurance folks say that you do,
What's up with that?
Qualis. Well, I don't know, but they kind of run things. So if you need a roof, if you need your roof inspected, hit up QualisGC.com. And if you book yourself an inspection, you get yourself a free T-shirt.
Free T-shirt, or I think a subscription.
Yeah.
They'll pay for a subscription for you. Oh, and then if indeed you do get a roof with Qualis Roofing, they will give you a sit-in, a free sit-in. You'll be able to sit in the studio or, at the Den. And
You'll be just like Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay, yeah.
With QualisGC.com.
At a place where you eat and get coffee and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Some people
you
did.
could eat and get coffee. Okay.
QualisGC.com.
All right.
I think we killed that.
All right. I never listen. I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the dumb zone.
So it's Monday.
Hello.
You have a case of the Mondays. I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
We got Clayton here as well with a mic. Look, Clayton got himself a mic. Like you asked Clayton 100 things. The one thing he remembers to do is get himself a mic.
Yeah.
This just showed up.
Like I'm like,
Next
hey,
day air.
you cut this audio, and then he doesn't do that, and then all of a sudden, hey, maybe you should have a mic. Oh, okay.
It's got like a
you should put
auto-tune
yourself on the website a
on
little
it
bit
or
more,
something. Yeah.
What's going on, Clayton? Well, we'll hear from Clayton for a weekend check, maybe. See if he does stuff. But we have sit-ins today. You are not here from Qualis, correct? No. Have you been instructed on those mics?
I
What
thought
to
it
do
was
with those?
self-explanatory, but
All
maybe
right.
I should.
It probably was self-explanatory.
Anyway, we have a couple of sit-ins. These guys are football experts.
Yeah.
They know more about football, picking games than you do.
I know. I told him I expected him to walk in like Lloyd and Harry with suits on and big bags of cash, as these are our knockout league winners.
So from left to right on your TV dial, we're looking at the YouTube feed. It is Craig and Dan. Did you know?
Yeah, I did.
My brother's name is Craig.
Oh, I think I did.
How about that? Dan and Craig. Heard that all my life.
He's not the one that knocked up
Stepdad, too. Right?
Titans cheerleader. That's your brother-in-law.
Right. Well, stepbrother-in-law, or former stepbrother-in-law.
The ties that bind.
I've never really seen that video. Former stepbrother-in-law. But step certainly in the search queue. Love the word step.
Yeah.
Just throw that in there and it makes it all okay. It's not really your mom.
Don't see a lot of step grandma, but I'm sure it's out there.
Gilf is what you're supposed to search, right?
Yeah.
Cougar,
Step
Gilf.
Gilf. Yeah.
Anyway, these guys won our knockout league. The knockout where all you have to do, it's the easiest thing in the world. Man, I just remember when I first heard about it like a decade ago. What? You just pick a winner?
No spread?
Not against the spread? I mean, all right, I'll just take your money. I didn't last through week 1 this year. I went with
Cincinnati.
Yeah, the Bengals to beat New England. That was an obvious one.
Yeah.
And
That wiped out about half my league.
yeah, for sure. Are you just saying that?
No, it's always the ones you don't notice. They're coming up on the slate every week. My guy lets us buy back in.
Well,
We tried that, Jake.
Blake runs this league. And Blake does not play. In fact, these guys wanted to stop like with 4 or 5 weeks left in the season and say, what if we just split it? And Blake said, no. We're in this thing for number 1.
No laying up at the Masters.
And it turns out. Now, did you guys just mirror each other's picks, or did they actually pick different teams sometimes? But
You
they
have
just
to
got
ask,
to the end.
gotta ask them.
It's different. It was different a few weeks, but by the time there was 5 of us left, I was checking the spreads and
Just going with the
either
biggest.
top two because it was nervous. I was
Yeah. No, I think especially as we got to the end, it just seemed like every week there was an obvious like the Bengals beating the Patriots. There was an obvious one that you should pick every week, and it just worked out.
So you guys,
What's the loot?
each are taking home well into the 4 figures, correct?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah. Do we want to say?
Yeah, we have a check to present them,
Because the way we do that at the end.
or I can get it right now. I don't care.
All right.
Boy, what a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. No, I just thought.
Oh, says the guy who hasn't helped with anything.
Whoa. He was busy during September.
Yeah, he was away.
He was.
He didn't have a lot of input.
He was
Also,
busy, but prepping for now.
this is one of those, do we do this on the air or be a real big jerk and just do it off the air? It is funny. It's like your wife, right? He's complaining I didn't do anything about it. And from the very beginning, I was like, this seems like a lot of work. I don't think we should do this. There's really no upside. And then every week he bitched and complained about it on the dot. It's like, we didn't really need to do this.
The upside is
They won some money.
great fun.
That's really it.
The charity.
Yeah,
so
the Sandlot charity
we-
is a beneficiary. I'd say some other charities that we're going to provide to.
yeah, the initial thought was let's do this as a money-making event.
Right. And then
And-
I said to you guys right away, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, so
And our lawyer called us.
we know lots and lots of lawyers, and we used one or two of them. We used one of them. He gave us the answer we didn't like. We went to another one. He's like, no, that one was right. We went to our aggressive lawyer. He's like, you can get away with anything, and he's like, nah,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like-
think you should do this.
It's like me asking Dan if I can run a bit
Yeah,
on the air. Like, what was the point of asking? If he says no,
yeah.
you
The
know.
aggressive lawyer said, no, you can skirt it. You can run this pool if you give it to charity. So we're going to donate an equal amount to charity that we give to you guys. What are we looking at? $5,000 each?
Is that it?
4? I don't know.
It was
Look, the IRS is gonna know
84.
one way or the other.
8,400.
Or
Jeez,
each. Do we
Pete.
not want to tell your wives? Yeah. Do you want to lie if your wives are going to see this?
She's already seen it.
Okay.
Chappie used to
Have
have.
they
what he-
spent it?
I have a 100-inch TV in my living room now.
Nice.
Heck yeah! Now that makes it
Nice.
worth it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Blake.
Yeah.
Chappie used to have what he called the slush fund.
What does that mean?
It was just the money my stepmom didn't know about. And he had like a little manila folder that he would keep
I was very Dave Ramsey.
documents in. Oh, he was Dave Ramsey before it existed. And that's where like tickets for UT games or something came from. The slush fund.
I mean, you and your wife have something similar in that she doesn't know exactly how much money you have in your account, right?
And vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's really more about hers, but yeah, I imagine
gotta
it's
be
pretty
rolling
common to she seems to be doing quite well. She doesn't have $8,000 just laying around for a 100-inch TV though.
Yeah, you probably got some left over.
It's a big deal.
All right, well, congrats. Any shout out, or we do that at the end too? We notice that you're wearing a Lone Star beer, some merch. So
Yeah,
you went to LoneStarBeer.com. You actually bought merch.
I actually did, and I actually forgot to use DumbZone 21
What are we doing?
as my.
You forgot the promo
I
code,
forgot the promo code.
Well, the good news is that means it's still active
It is still active.
but
I
you
can
thought the
still go
merch
get
was
one.
so cool.
Yeah.
at
yeah.
full price. Well, what if? Is the spot now?
Imagine, no. I don't think we're doing a Lone Star Beer spot today.
I do want to shout out one of our dudes that was in on Friday, Zach, the rehab listener. He ran the half marathon in Fort Worth in 1:38.
Jeez.
I'm like, dude, come on. Were you really
Is that impressive?
bad? Yeah. It's like, I mean,
Oh, and he just got out of rehab, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden he's doing this.
yeah. He's like, I was in such bad shape when I
So
got
now that
there.
you're
I'm
a
like, all
rehab
right,
guy,
dude.
because I heard this, or at least maybe saw it or whatever on Twitter after you got back. Was it really that bad? Like this and that. Like now you're that guy.
Yeah. Like, all right, dude, you're able to just break out a 725 mile a month out. I don't know. You weren't as bad. Everyone does it, but. And he also sent me a photo of a guy that he ran with running in a no puppet hat. I think we're well represented in local races. Like,
Should we do one?
If you want to have a bit,
We wanted to
let
do
you
a bit.
your bib.
Do we want to do a local race? Do we want to do a raise money for?
I mean, I'd have to leave it up to our clearinghouse for all that is good and noble in the charity space, Blake.
Thank you. Sure. I don't know.
I don't want to get up that early.
Also, this
So I get up early. I just don't want to go anywhere.
I still have the dream of us having a softball tournament. So, but these are
we need to
later
do
in
that
the year
first.
type things.
Yeah, but your dream involves revamping all the fields to make them pentagon shaped.
That's not a bad idea.
I know,
Everyone is
but-
stoked on the Pentagon softball tournament to honor
It's going to be
the
so
fallen
hard to
heroes
do
of
that.
9/11.
The tough part is making twin tower foul poles. That's going to be the tough part.
Wow,
Right?
a lot there. Yeah.
Like, dare them to say that we're making fun of them when we present another big check.
Yeah. What? It's for the fallen people. Or maybe our charity is just for the upkeep of the 9/11 Memorial in Grapevine. Like we'll clean
Okay,
it
yeah.
up and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to get
Beautification
messy.
project.
Yeah.
Sure. Table it.
Anyway, perhaps as I try to slide us into before I slide us into a weekend check. Tomorrow we have Steve Noviello here. We are broadcasting live to live and live to tape from our Fox 4 studios this week. And so DZTV, shout out More27. Steve Noviello from Fox 4 will be joining us during the show tomorrow. And by request from Steve Noviello from Fox 4, he wants us to bring back Gay Not Gay.
What?
Yes.
And you need to know this perhaps as well. This is a little bit of a force field we can raise. Steve Noviello, gay, homosexual. He has a man husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he has called for Gay Not Gay, though. He likes Gay Not Gay. Because as we
It's not us.
used to say on Gay Not Gay, it's we're not talking, I mean, it's not about being gay. It's about being gay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you have an email to send us, what's our email address?
thedumbzone@gmail.com.
And we haven't wanted to do this. That's why we haven't. It's just that every time we see Steve Noviello, he's like, actually, you should, and it's okay and good.
He pushes for it.
Yeah.
So you can complain to him.
He's always asking. I got a couple of them lined up for sure.
Oh, you already do?
Oh yeah. So hit
Okay.
us up. Great.
Because Gay Not Gay used to be the biggest evergreen thing, I guess, that would be sent to me. And that has since been replaced by Gummy Thoughts.
Yeah. A lot of those.
Trailing a distant third would be Bad Beats.
I mean,
I've started to get some more bad beats lately.
this is simply a matter of Dan not wanting to embrace bad beats.
I'm just telling you maybe people are sending them to you.
I got a few.
Yeah.
I got a few for today if you wanted to.
They're just not sending them to me as much. Yeah, and I was thinking we should start doing email more because we get more timely emails and we need to respond to something right away. Maybe we'll make maybe Thursday will just be for Gummy Thoughts. And we won't do the big Thursday mailbag thing anymore, and we won't have to play your drop and you won't get mad about it.
I'm going to do a bad beat right now. There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want? My validation that's true that
No, don't do it. This is crazy.
I'm waiting. I'm very
this will be
excited.
this will be the video I put in there, the Tekken one. This one really spoke to me, and I'll tell you why. I've talked to you guys before about the cup, the Taco Bell cup that featured Alicia Silverstone as, I think, Batgirl. Also, we've talked about Lara Croft Tomb Raider with her very pointy, boxed up PlayStation boobs. Well, a listener sent us this one from the trailer for the video game Tekken 2. And I absolutely remember being like, can I crank it to this? And it's just like a suggestive woman in 2.5D, which means you can kind of see that she has a rack. And every video game at that time was doing this. Like, they were all figuring out ways to put boobs in your video game. And this is one that definitely hit for me. So
Tekken Dana fighting game.
it was, yeah,
So really no need for this at all.
at all. Like, at
This
all.
is like on the pre-playing screen. Or
Yeah, like your
something?
menu screen
Yeah.
Or
type
like
thing.
Tekken coming out, or Tekken 2 coming out in October. This is what they would release in April
Yeah.
to get you excited.
Did it work?
I remember being very excited by this.
Dude, you could download these trailers on your PlayStation and watch them. And yeah, I definitely skipped ahead and
Yeah.
watched this.
Yeah, yeah, she's got like leggings on. Like, I didn't even know that existed at that time.
Yeah.
This is a big one.
When you learn leggings,
Yeah.
that's a.
I've got a couple.
Oh, we're doing this now. Okay.
Yeah, Jake started it. This first one, I'm gonna just keep this anonymous. Kids are dumb, but also the 90s were tough. This emailer says youth today cannot comprehend the struggle. First bad beat was Street Fighter 2
Oh, wow.
on Super Nintendo. Picking Chun-Li and doing her lightning kicks and pausing it at the right time, which is on your screen right now. As you can see, it's just a little upskirt action.
That's
on
really
her
bad.
kick.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
And I have a worse
So
one.
pixelated.
The next one, the same emailer says while playing NHL 94, yeah, the face-off circles.
What?
Okay.
Just a couple of face-off circle boobs?
Yeah.
God, NHL 94 was so fun, but I never looked at it thinking of boobs.
No, I've played that game countless hours. Hit the wraparound.
Oh my gosh.
That might have been the first
That's a great goal.
glitch.
Yeah, the wraparound goal was awesome.
That is as down bad of a bad beat as I
No
could
doubt,
possibly imagine right there. It's one thing to have a little slight cleavage in a video game character. It's another to jerk off to still circles. Why don't you just look at a plate?
I don't know. I respect it.
So maybe
Thanks,
that guy that
thanks.
ran that marathon. This is now I'm segueing into a weekend check. He cheated a little bit because he set up in Elite Rides.
They don't ask questions.
Elite Rides DFW. Yeah, they'll pick you up at mile 1,
Yeah.
drop you off at mile 22. They don't care.
No.
They're
Yeah.
there for you. Really, it's awesome. 1-844 Ride DFW. And if you need to go to a game, somebody hit me up last week and said they were just taking their daughter on a college tour and they took Elite Rides DFW to the airport.
Wow.
They downloaded the app and they got a discount because they used the promo code there. Dan, got to use the promo code DZ15. 15% off your first ride.
15% off. The phone number again, 844-RIDE-DFW. Download the app, Elite Rides DFW. They got limos. They got Sprinter vans. They've got SUVs, mini buses. Hit them up. It is Elite Rides DFW.
How about the free water? How sweet is that?
Elite.
It is elite. Okay. Weekend check. I don't have much, so I will volunteer to go first, knowing that you guys are going to have a lot of gold to follow this.
Yeah, Blake.
But couple things this weekend. Number one, the last fire, I think, of the season.
Yeah, warming up quite a bit today, as evidenced by you being shorts guy.
Well, I shouldn't have worn shorts. It's a little chilly for that, but
I think by the time we leave here today, you're going to be fine. It was just
Okay.
jarring at first.
yeah.
You got a kind of like a Fetterman thing going on.
but but yeah, Friday night, Saturday morning was probably a little too warm, but I still had one, and that was my last fire, I think, of the year. I'm looking at the weather forecast, but I don't think we'll get another big one. I'm not sure.
That's a sad moment. Another year has passed. Probably more sad when you had kids there. Now you're just kind of alive for whatever reason.
I love fire though.
Yeah.
Love me a fire. I explained fairy smut to my wife. Didn't really tell her the origin because I was worried if she might judge your wife differently if I said that's where it came from, although it doesn't seem like your wife is concerned.
No, not
Yeah.
only
Very
is she
smart.
not concerned, between Friday's show and then over the weekend, this is basically the female version of saying, like, I like the NFL. I don't think this is a real avant-garde, outside of the mainstream interest that she has.
But I got to tell you this, my wife had never heard of it, but she did show considerable interest. So, like, she didn't say, "Oh my God, that's weird and terrible." She's like, "Oh, really? Fairy smut."
Interesting.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have to mow until August anyways.
Yeah.
I need a little. But no, whether it was Ted Emmerich or on down the line of people in our orbit who hit me up and said, "Hey, I asked my wife about this." And they're like, "I've read every book. I've seen the show." Apparently, there was supposed to be a show on Hulu this year based on Akator in conjunction with
What's Akator?
Court of Thorn and Roses.
A court?
It's the book.
In conjunction with the creator of the TV show Outlander. You guys know anything about Outlander over there?
I've heard the word.
Yeah, it's a wife show. It's like the porniest take on, I don't know, sort of medieval. There might be some time travel in there, but it's just softcore porn. And that show.
I love
Wrapped.
porn and I love time travel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love you sucker me in with a time travel movie or a Freaky Friday or just something weird like that. I love that stuff. Never thought of mixing it up though.
No, you're not like.
I need to look into this.
You're not watching the butterfly effect and being like, what if he shot it there instead of there? How would that have changed
I mean, I guess there was that
the world?
that weird unexplained thing in Terminator. Right? Are you familiar with the weird loop in Terminator that so Terminator is Arnold was sent back as a Terminator to kill this little kid.
Right.
This little kid's going to grow up and lead the resistance. So, the computers sent Arnold back to kill him as a little kid. It's like sending someone back to kill Hitler. So the resistance sent a guy back to make sure the kid stays alive and to try and kill Arnold. And this guy had sex with Sarah Connor. That baby would grow up to be that kid that sent the guy back.
Whoa.
To kill. Do you follow that? Like it doesn't make any sense.
That
It
seems
couldn't
like-
really happen.
No, that should have been thought out.
But
Should've brought you
that
in.
was the mind F with it.
But that's still your limited
But-
exposure to doing it.
But they
and-
didn't show. Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
show the whole act. They just kind of inferred. They just they showed him kissing and then they showed him laying there sharing a cigarette or something. I didn't get to see the other part. But imagine how good Terminator would have been had it been full pen, just everything, kind of the whole lead up, just a 45-minute type, every position.
Yeah, I guess I could
any which
imagine
way.
that. Sure.
Now it add a little time to the movie, but James Cameron enjoys a long movie.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how much time travel has to do with Outlander. I'm just saying women are very much into this era
I forgot why we
of
started
sexy
talking
stuff.
about
I bet if your wife asked her friends, it'd be really funny to have the Rose twins take a spin through this.
Yeah, I asked my wife about it, and she said she didn't like it because she didn't like the main character, not because of all the fairy smut. Like that's just
She's on board with
purist.
grabbing a wing,
yeah,
stroking a wing.
sure.
And then I'm all in on Severance season 2, but I know you want to have some TV talk later. Maybe we'll save that for then.
Yeah, I can jump into it a little bit in my weekend check as well. I do have a big weekend check note for tomorrow off the top of the show. I went to my daughter's school on Friday night for, I guess they were calling it STEM night. I don't know. The school's got a zillion things where you're basically obligated to bring your kid there so that they're not the one who didn't go. Seems to be all it is. It is fine, though. It was a cool event. You make stuff. Hey, whatever. And then we went to dinner. It was my mom's birthday. Or excuse me, my wife's birthday was last week, so we did that.
Freudian.
My mom's birthday's next month, and we were just talking about it. Yeah, definitely, man.
Want to sleep with your mom? We get it.
Straight up edible, baby. Edible arrangements. Saturday, I was just straight certified pool boy. Wife, because it was her birthday weekend, went and did lady stuff all day. Don't know what she did.
How do they get a birthday weekend?
Don't know. Yeah, it was Friday night. It was family, her family, my family, the kids, dinner. Saturday, she was gone all day. She was whatever she was doing. I don't know. Menstruating across the Metroplex, but I was not involved. So I took advantage of that Grapevine Rec indoor pool.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean by pool.
It was, dude. My wife doesn't like. Oh, she
You
says
took the kids?
yeah, both
Yeah.
of them. She's like, oh,
That's
it's
a great
It's a
pool.
lot. I'm like, it's nothing.
It's warm.
Like they're gonna.
Getting the lazy river there.
It's great.
Like, yeah,
Chill.
your kids are small enough. They don't get that that's worse than Wet and Wild.
No, it's free.
Yeah.
They got, the changing rooms are right there, so it's not that big of a beach. She's just like, oh, it's such a hassle to get them dressed in and out. And I'm like, what else am I going to do?
Yeah, you got all day.
Like, I'm just here with both of them, and it's cold, so what are we going to do? So I went and did that. That was nice. And then Saturday night, doubled up on my pool game with my maiden voyage to World Springs and at Grandscape.
Oh, yeah. The spa or the hot tubs, right?
Would recommend. Now, you have to be someone who's open to that sort of thing. As I've told you, like going to actual, spa castle or king spa where there's a lot of nudity and it's all indoor. If you've done that, this is nothing. But I could see the average American maybe taking a little time to warm up to this. But it's just, there's probably 40 or 50 different hot tubs of varying degrees of size, and the consistency of the water's got different minerals and stuff in it, and then there's probably 10 different saunas. And it's just like a huge place out by the way, Grandscape, that's just the north nice version of Arlington now.
Is it near, like...
It's a city of bits. Like the Colony, Grandscape.
Wait, Grandscape is a city?
Well, it's part of the Colony, but I just mean that development, that whole thing, to me is just Arlington with a makeover. And that's great because Arlington's got a lot of fun stuff to do. But it's just bits on bits on bits on bits of
Is that the place with, like, the skydiving?
Cosm,
Big
the
skydiving?
skydiving
Yeah.
thing. There's a place opening called Fritz's Adventures, which is like a kid's play place. There's a lot going on. And it's bit laden, and they have this place. And I don't know. It would be cool if you went with a big group. I think we got there at 5. My wife got a massage, and I just went and did my own thing. The later into the evening it went, it definitely turned pretty party time. Like there are groups of people that had clearly got like.
They serve?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I think it's the type of place that if you and your lady or you and your man were going to, and you were at least curious about, like, hey,
Swinging?
my wife and I saw you from across the
Yeah.
bar over here. This might be your spot.
Okay.
Because I mean, you're sitting in hot tubs with strangers, and not everyone, but people are drinking. The sun's coming down. It's a nice setting.
Kind of a once in a lifetime
Hey, what are you guys doing after
situation
this?
here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I heard like groups.
You'll
of
never
people-
see them again. They probably live in
Yeah, there were a lot of people that had traveled
Fort
there.
Worth. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, perfect.
you're just kind of sitting there across. So what do you do?
Yeah, you don't want to
No.
you don't want to swing in your town because you might end up,
Right, I'm supposed to run
Running
into you
into
at
you.
Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
No, this is a judgment-free zone. But it's clean. It was cool. It was super relaxing. It was fun.
Hold
No, I did not stay the night there. There are some where you do, like the ones in Dallas. They have a hotel at King Spa, I think. And then you'll have like there's one in Austin. There's a bunch of them down there, and this is actually featured on White Lotus last night. I don't know if you're watching that show, and I don't know
Not yet.
why I'm watching it.
you don't like it?
I don't know that I've ever really liked it.
I like when they get a couple under the I like to get a couple under the belt so I can watch it.
Well, because
Day
there's
after
just
day.
nothing but mystery being laid out for like the first 3 episodes, right?
Okay, yeah.
You're just like,
And
how
then
does
it
this
starts
fit
getting
with
good,
that
yeah.
and this and that? But just the concept of like the wellness retreat, where you just go somewhere for a weekend and you do stay there and you just do nothing like cleanse your body. It was a cool place. I enjoyed it. Left feeling very relaxed. You know what else I went and did? And you can tell your emailer who basically checked me back into rehab for having ice cream about this. I fucked around with some pie this weekend.
Pie, huh?
Where?
There's a place in downtown Grapevine that's by Jake's Burgers. It's like a local bakery, and I've always looked at it longingly and just never really had a desire for it. Like, I just didn't eat sweets, whether I was not interested or my body just had alcohol at some level at all times. I just had no interest in eating sweets whatsoever, but we were picking up dinner next door, and I'm like, I'm going to go in there and get some fucking pie.
So you feel like now you're sweets guy?
I don't know if I'm sweets guy because I am still somewhat conscious, not like to your degree, but about what I eat. But, hey, Saturday night,
Did you buy a whole pie or just a slice of pie?
I bought 2 slices and then 1 small, like 6-inch pie, and I have that left. I may give that away.
What'd we get?
I got 1 vanilla bean cheesecake and 1 chocolate cream pie, Blake.
I used to be a Cheesecake Factory
Don't direct that at me.
guy.
What? You're always talking about how much you love CPs. It's just fun. This is a fun.
OCP.
It's a fun thing about like the stage of life I'm in at 40. I'm like, damn, dude, they're just doing this all the time, making pie like this. I was very
Heck.
proud of myself.
Yeah, unless being at a restaurant and they kind of offer it up and they tell you that theirs is really good, I can't see just getting some pie.
No, that's why I'm telling you about it. I mean, it was very strange. However, when I walked in there, it's a small place, there appeared to be a lot of people who, as a group, maybe a family, there's 10 people at a table and they're just all having some pie. Like it's Little House on the Prairie or something. It's really weird. It's good pie, though.
Did you have any hair pie this weekend?
Why am I laughing at that?
Because it's great.
Yeah, dude.
Clayton,
I was
what'd you do this
nostrils
weekend?
deep in some hair pie.
Well, it was her birthday.
That's right.
Clayton's running our video. Would you call yourself the director of the show?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. I know you like to label things.
Oh, okay. Big label guy over here.
Yeah.
Big TV weekend.
Go on.
Friday night, ordered a couple pizzas.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Got a deal.
No.
Got a little deal on 2 large pies for me for Telly.
They don't charge
Finished
you for
off,
delivery either.
Generation Kill. I watch that every year.
You watch it every year.
Yeah.
Jake's been imploring me to start watching
Yeah.
that again. I think I watched it 15 years ago or whenever it came out.
You did. And I think I don't know if I finish it every year, but I fire it up once a year and knock out like 3 or 4 over a month span. It's a very important piece of television
Yeah.
for our generation in particular, as it were.
So got through that Saturday. Sunday started The Newsroom. It's another show I watch every year.
Why? As I recall, that show sucked.
Well,
Doesn't it?
if you recall where I used to work,
Where'd you work?
I worked for Glenn Beck before here,
Blaze Media.
Blaze Media. So that was, and growing up like in journalism school and stuff, the newsroom stuff was just always like kind of, you dream of working in a New York newsroom like that. So
I just thought it was BS. I can't remember why, though. Was it the guy from Friends?
Yeah. Well, Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin wrote, yeah.
No, but
Matthew Perry? Or?
yeah, wasn't he in there?
No,
No, it's Jeff Daniels.
Dumb and Dumber.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels is the news director.
Yeah, okay. It just felt so
I couldn't.
self-righteous or what. I don't know.
Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, but I don't know. I really enjoyed The West Wing. For some reason, I did not enjoy The Newsroom at all.
It's no morning show.
It's no morning show. Let's just be
Look,
honest.
I'm not trying to compare it to the morning show.
I mean,
Who
what
is?
could?
Yeah, we can't.
I mean,
I think what he's saying is that he felt what his body felt like to have a fully grown penis after watching Generation Kill. And he was like, how can I stuff this back inside my body by learning about the saviors that are the liberal media.
Yeah. I had too much tea, so I had to bring it
I
down.
get it. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I totally get it.
I was ready to run through a brick wall, but
Yeah.
then I just needed to think about my
Talk
thoughts.
about the importance of the fourth estate.
But no, then I had Zaw for the weekend, and then little Screen Actors Guild Awards last night.
Okay.
Rounded it out.
That apparently
Damn.
existed.
It's a big TV weekend.
Yeah, no, I saw Timothy Chalamet's all over the place for his big speech. Did it move
Did
you?
it like this.
Did it move you?
No, I've not heard it. I'm a fan of his.
Do you
but,
think he's our next one? Is he our next Leo,
Feels like that's been ordained.
De Niro?
Yeah.
Like we don't have another one.
And he doesn't seem like a bad kid. He kind of came up in the blog era. Like he had a fairly successful YouTube channel where he's just reviewing like PlayStation controllers when he's 12, and I find that very just a regular kid. You know, he follows like 10 accounts or something, and one of them was Zach Lowe, and the other was Bill Simmons.
Have you
Just an
wondered?
NBA fan?
Have you wondered
randomly.
what you would do? Like if you grew up in this era, because I grew up in an era and I was making cassette tapes
Yeah.
and trying to make little productions about the Cleveland Indians 1987 season or whatever. Like what? I'd be on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably would have. Although now there's so many people that do it, I think my confidence would have been crushed. I guess what I'm trying to say is back when I first when I first figured out I could record myself playing music, it was magic. But I was the only one who knew how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came to operating the handy cam and even
Like there was no one else
yeah.
that had those.
So even like we would edit some video when we skateboarding and stuff. I'm like, this is great. No one knows, but now everyone knows how to do it. So back then, I was kind of popular as content guy, but that wasn't because it was good. It was just because I knew how to make it and do a 4-track and a tape recorder. But now everybody can, so I think I would fail.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was recording myself playing NCAA football and commenting over it. Put it on YouTube.
You did?
Yeah,
I used to record myself.
Where are
calling-
these?
Yeah,
Where are
yeah,
these
we're-
videos?
on YouTube.
I can find them on.
Yeah.
You have a YouTube page?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Man, I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I would take one of the worst teams in NCAA and then just go through a season, win every game, and explain why I was calling this play or
Dude, we need that.
big
Gotta
swing-
have it.
big swings in the action, and yeah, my UTSA Roadrunners.
Doesn't Blake look like a little baby when he shaves?
He looks super. He looks really thin too. He just finally has the stress of the season
Just
off of him.
new man. Yeah, this was a big week. It was a Black Friday in Argyle.
It's tough. No fireworks.
Yeah,
No.
we played the end of that game. We're living and dying with you though, man.
Dude, yeah.
Went down early.
It's not
Came
that
back
far
to
from like
tie?
a
Did they tie?
Cowboy stream.
They just
within-
got close.
Down one.
down one, yeah.
Down one twice.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, I heard you guys stood up. That was nice of you.
Yeah.
Sent some energy from
It didn't
South
work
Lake.
though. It didn't
Last
work.
long,
Yeah,
but-
we were trying to do a rally thing.
Nope. So last week I drove 1,085 miles because Monday we had our game in Haskell, Keller Tuesday, and then Friday was the big one where the girls' playoff game was at Abilene Christian University at 1 o'clock. The boys' playoff game was in Fort Worth at 7:30, and I was able to do both. It was the closest I'll get to Craigway in my life. It was awesome, except for the fact that they lost.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Carlisle Kid type situation for me where I definitely agree that Coach Westmoreland was the guy to get him there. I don't know if he's the guy to get him over there.
It's tough.
And that's
Tough decision.
You have to be honest with yourself as a program. Sometimes that takes
They need a guy
courage.
who does have some conviction in his moves. Maybe a guy like Nico that could evaluate what this program is really all about and what it means to be an Argyle Eagle.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to remind you guys he does have 2 state titles at Argyle. So he,
Yeah,
has,
but
he has shown that he can do it.
Is his work ethic there?
Well, I mean, I think that's what I always say to people when they say, who's the best GM in football? I'm like, well, Jerry has a few Super Bowls, and then the argument's over.
Yeah.
Because
Just add up the GM Super Bowls.
right.
Yeah, but
In the
those,
NFL
those were
today.
Jimmy's teams.
So you say. Who was signing the checks?
You ran into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, got to see the number 1 recruit in the country, Elias Chavez, headed to probably Texas, if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly. The Texas coach was there to watch, which was funny. Really great. Yeah, really good player. After the game, I kid you not, there was a line around the court to get her autograph.
For real?
And she had a handler there, and this was not her first time. She knew to hit the recruiting websites, local TV, and then the coach pulled out a table for her. She sat down and began signing autographs for everyone in the crowd.
Wow. Did you get one?
No.
You thought about it, though.
No. It's
Get a picture with
she
her?
was overwhelmed. But very nice to do so. Met a couple nice listeners out in Abilene, Aaron and Elizabeth. They
yeah.
bought tickets, and I don't know how much of the game they watched, but just to come by and say hello. And that was really nice of them.
Aw.
They're on your screen now. And they gave me this nice Abilene Wiley shirt.
Oh, Aaron's a dude. I thought you had 2 girls come visit you. No.
No.
All right.
Nope.
I'm
But
still
good,
on board with them.
Hello, ma'am.
good subbies. Very nice. And they,
Hello, Aaron.
yeah, both of them.
Yeah, he's
Dan,
hot.
Dan, you would have appreciated this in the gift bag they gave me for this shirt. They wrote down the cleanest bathrooms in Abilene.
Okay.
On the way back, they said it's this exit. It's like 10 miles outside Abilene. Here's the name of the place. The best bathrooms you can find.
I do like that, but probably more important for Jake because he'll be sitting down.
But less important for me, though, because, I'm like Dez walking out at the link with no sleeves on. I don't, the condition, show me your worst conditions. I'm putting up 7 catches, 105 yards. I've never been in a bathroom where I'm like, well, this won't work.
And then on Sunday, took the kid to the park, wanted to feed the ducks. And kind of like your bit with dolphins,
Yeah.
ducks, I think, are the biggest dicks we have in the animal kingdom. Because it's like there were like these 3 bigger ducks, wouldn't let any of the other ducks eat. And then a female came in there, and they all just were about to run a train on this poor duck.
Whoa.
Chased her off, and then 2 flew after her. It's a bad scene, man. Ducks are not nice.
I agree with this.
And they look all cute with their green head.
Yeah, they're selling insurance and
They
wrapping.
got a little necktie. Yeah, dude.
Don't like it.
Horrible. I think I'm out on ducks.
They poo all over your yard if they get in your yard. I had a few years ago.
You were all thrilled about it at first.
Yeah, I was thrilled. It looked so peaceful. It was so sweet. I felt like Tony Soprano. They're flying in to swim in my pool, and then they leave. But okay, cool, man.
How'd the squad do yesterday?
We split.
Oh, softball.
Yeah. Seems like we're going to be the cardiac cards this year. Had 2 come from behind victory. Well, it was going to be a victory, but then they had the hammer and they won it.
Okay.
We got some good exercise on a Sunday.
Well, you know what that's all it's about.
I know.
Just get out in there,
Heart rate up.
having some fun.
Fellowship.
So on today's program, I see we have, in reverse order, closing remarks, today in history, news. We have today in Twitter, but we can start with sports if you want.
From the wonderful world of sports.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Brought to you by Fair Lease.
Fairlease.org. Fairlease.
I read the wrong one.
Navi,
That's okay.
that's okay. Fairlease.org. They will lease you a vehicle fairly. Let's say you have negative equity, Blake. Fairlease provides you with lots of solutions for that situation. They have cost-effective leasing. When it comes to leasing your next vehicle, do it with Fairlease. Just go to fairlease.org. You click Request a Quote, then select the Dumb Zone on the How Did You Hear About Us, which is probably true. 10,000 to 30,000 miles a year. What you need to know is that they will handle this for you from stem to stern, beginning to end. They'll deliver the vehicle right to your doorstep. So do it. Check them out. Matthew at Fairlease, Danny at Fairlease. Tell them the Dumb Zone sent you at fairlease.org. It's Luca's offense now.
Yeah, so J.J. Redick did come out and say that after the Lakers, our Lakers beat the Nuggets. Like, I can't say I'm just a Lakers fan. I don't think I can ever do that. But kind of like our little guy, I'm accepting things now. And I'm looking for ways. I want him to win a title. That's what I've always wanted. I really wanted it to be here. But clearly, that will not be the case. And I would rather have Luka win a title with the Lakers than the Mavs win a title with AD. I don't care.
Yeah.
The tone deafness of this organization, the Mavs continue to step in it. Friday after we got off the show, did you see what hit Twitter Friday or social media?
What was it?
The Mavs put out a video.
Oh, yeah, with Duro. Okay.
A hype video. And I wish I downloaded it. Because I knew there's no way they're going to be able to handle this onslaught of reaction. Because in the video, they would be showing highlights from their run last year. And like if somebody Luka fed Kyrie and Kyrie lays it up and in. But they would put a Mavs logo over Luka's face like he's on the court. But they just put a logo there just to kind of mask him. Like, why? You can't erase him from the history of your team. It's the insecurity we talked about. Maybe the Ticket felt that or feels that a little bit with, what Saturday Night Live has never worried about. The insecurity of, that's just going to make, this will downplay the guys we have here. Why? You made that decision, Mavs. You've made this decision. Don't own it. But they put out this video. Luka is not just cut out of it, but like really blatantly bad photoshopping, getting him out, and then they delete the video a couple hours later.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but I do believe the WFAA did some detective work.
All right.
And that they had edited out Grimes and Kleba, but not Luka. But the point is...
And then they just thought, okay, well, we've already gone this far. Let's just throw the logo up.
Yeah, and they should have just, as PJ would say, stood on business. If it's a standard thing to do, which Bobby Caralla tweeted, he's with DLLS now, was with the Mavs for a long time. He's like, we used to have to do this all the time. It's not a thing.
It's also stupid, but
it is stupid. He didn't comment on that part of it, but just said it's a normal thing. And then WFA went out and said, hey, this is Quentin Grimes and Maxi Kleba. But the team can't just do anything. Everything they do, they screw up. Because at that point, they should have just left it up. Like, what are you worried about? If you don't feel bad about it, like just because people yelled at you, and that part makes me feel good, because it does seem like if we just yell about stuff enough, short of bringing him back, they'll kind of bend the knee. Like, I think by April 9th, they're going to be real worn down, and that's when we take over.
Are they working up a real nice tribute video for him?
That's going to be so weird, man.
Even if they do something nice?
I feel like they have to, but
this idiot organization, I don't know if they will.
I wouldn't be surprised. Everything they've done PR-wise has been a disaster.
So what about, there was another story, or I just saw people commenting on a story that I never really found the exact quotes. Was it the Athletic article that they were talking about, people were talking about that Luka apparently controlled the practices?
Yeah.
What article was that?
So the Athletic with Christian Clark, who's their local Dallas beat reporter now, like replaced Cato, him and two other guys from the Athletic National wrote that article that we went over. It's like the what makes Nico tick.
Yeah.
Talking about him in college and all that stuff. I don't believe there's anything about his practice habits actually listed in there, but I heard the same thing you did. So I went and listened to Mr. Clark on Locked On Mavericks over the weekend, and he references it there. He says, in the reporting for this story, these are some of the things we heard. And the way he put it was he didn't always want to practice necessarily to the degree that the team wanted. And that sometimes when he didn't really want to practice, the team didn't really practice, that they would just shoot instead. So it's more of this stuff that if any star player's relationship with their team went south, you would find out about it afterward. You don't find out about it when they're going to the finals.
And the point is you don't care about it if they're going to the finals.
Yeah, and they hadn't fallen into the shitter this year enough to where you would think you needed to start planting seeds of all these stories. But, Jason Kidd is Jason Kidd. He may be a changed person to a degree, but he's still the guy who was the coach of the Bucks and the Nets that book was written about, or was written about in the book about Giannis. He's still that guy. We're learning what Nico is. So I think they actually were ruffled by him saying, "No, I'm not talking about practice." That's what I want Luka to say at his April 9th press conference. Maybe even tomorrow night if he hangs 40 on him. Just open the press conference with, "We're talking about practice." Because now they're seriously sitting here talking about this. And, I mean, look, Jamal Mosley, the Magic, I think, had a game last night. And he used to coach Luka, and they asked him about it. He's like, "Guy works as hard as anyone I've ever seen." Like, it may not look the way you want it to look, but he's obsessed with basketball. This is not hey, he just happens to get lucky. Like, yes, he's working. Does that mean he's always on the treadmill? Does it mean he's always wanting to practice? Maybe not, but that's where that came from. It's just more BS that they have to do now to try to cover.
Like, obviously, if they win the title, and that's the only thing that can happen to make it kind of seem like this is okay.
If the Mavs win the
They
title?
have to win a title.
Yeah.
Not just, like, get to the finals, because they've done that. But even that it'd be, I'm sure Mavs fans would be happy. I don't think I'll care at all. But because it would also be somewhat like, I mean, when the Rangers won the World Series, I think it would have been way different if they won the World Series in 2011.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like, that was a team we grew up with. It was Michael Young. It had
Characters.
Elvis, you knew him since he was little. Like, you got to see the growth and the addition and the, some trades that added to the core. You have your thing, and then it grows, and you add around it, and then it feels satisfying. Like, the way the Rangers did it, they just kind of signed a bunch of dudes, and it just felt weird.
I would go
Still
so far as
cool.
to say that if the Rangers won this year, it would mean more to people than when they won 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
Just because now they just have
But the Mavs are
homegrown
all
players.
just different guys. Like, I guess Powell is the guy that's been there the longest.
But you're right. I mean,
But-
basically the identity of the team is Kid. Just because he's a known Kyrie, but Kyrie's played on 10 teams.
Right. Kyrie's known as a guy who
So
will jump team to team. That's why it was cool to add him to the mix of what you had. Anyway, yeah, Luka controlled the practices. This goes back to what I talked about early on too. Well, who's your coach? I mean, the whole point of this, you want a player to behave differently. You coach him up. You brought in a coach to coach a superstar. If you're known as a player's coach and you just kind of let the players do their thing, well, that's your thing. No team ever gets rid of the superstar and keeps the coach. That's just not done. So now let's go to our team. Oh, by the way, did you see? I didn't watch the game yesterday. I saw him getting blown out, and I saw pictures on social media.
I saw it. I watched it live.
Rob Pelinka was in the stands.
God, dude, they kept showing it. It was tough. It was first quarter, because Bob Myers was on the call, former general manager of the Warriors. I've always liked Bob Myers. Super interesting guy, super smart guy. He was an agent himself, actually, kind of laying the mold for Pelinka a little bit. I like him on NBA studio shows. Did not enjoy him on the call. Talks nonstop. But he is a GM. So when there's Pelinka's at the game for Andre Iguodala's jersey retirement, they're going to show Pelinka side by side with Nico Harrison a lot.
Was he his agent? Is
Yeah.
that why he's there? Okay.
Yeah. Who worked with Bob Myers when Bob Myers was the Warriors GM. But it was at least twice, if not 3 times in the first 3 quarters. Also because the game was getting pretty out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
They would just show both of them on television and talk about them. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't do this. Like, I fully intended to just watch this game and maybe try to not think about this for a minute. And it was just, hey, you know, those guys have traveled the world together. You know, they know each other in a way that a lot of people evaluating this trade don't understand. There's a trust there and a history. And it's like, fuck, dude, I don't care. I just want to watch a basketball game without having to think about this for a minute. And of
Clearly,
course,
there's a trust there.
It's the whole game.
There's a trust there, but one of the guys betrayed the trust. Seriously, if you're actually friends, you'd be like,
What are you doing?
I got to give you Austin Reeves, too. I mean, you need another ball handler. Like the Lakers, I'm listening to Locked On Lakers these days. And I'm trying to learn about my new team. And, you know, they can't believe it. They just can't believe how cool this is that there's always 2 of those guys on the floor. Like Austin Reeves is a real good distributor, ball handler as well. Offensive player. He's a real offensive threat. And the fact that they can have Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. And, yes, so then after the game, they beat Denver. So his first few games, they went 1-2. He was on a minutes restriction. He was averaging like 15 points a game. But he's Luka, and he hasn't played in 2 months, and he's Luka. So if you thought, oh, look, maybe Nico had something here. And he looked real. I mean, he was shell-shocked. He really was. He's an actual human, and that did affect him, I think. But he had a great game in Denver. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals. You see some clips now, and maybe this will get bigger. The fact that Luka does complain about to the refs a lot, but he also gets mugged a lot.
Sure.
And you've probably seen the one clip of him going around the right side and just getting hammered, and then hammered again by a different guy, and then he still gets it off and makes the shot, but he didn't get an and one. This will be a bigger thing now that he's in the spotlight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It'll be fun for the NBA world to finally take his complaints seriously.
Here's Luka on the court after the game.
Luka, Mike just said it. You've been smiling all night long. Just what felt better tonight?
Just finally feel like myself a little bit, playing this game. This is what I love, so I'm just finally, being myself a little bit. So that's why I was smiling the whole game.
There's been so much talk about you fitting in with the Lakers, about you fitting in with LeBron James. Just how were you able to find a rhythm with LeBron tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think we still got a lot of improvement. I just can't play. This is my 4th game. So, chemistry takes time. But you see today, after 3 games, you saw today that it's getting better. So every day is going to get better.
It's just your 4th game, like you said, with the Lakers. You've gone through so much in the last 3 weeks. You've had to adjust to so much.
So when she's saying that, did you watch this?
No.
She goes, you've gone through so much, and he's like he just had this huge sigh, and it you don't even get it.
Yeah.
You have no idea. The thing is, this came so out of nowhere, He's buying a $15 million house in Dallas, or he was in the middle of closing on that. He's wanting to be here long term for sure. Certainly for the next 5 years, whatever the contract is they could have offered. This really rocked his whole world. All right.
Game, like you said, with the Lakers. You've gone through so much in the last 3 weeks. You've had to adjust to so much. What have the last
really
3 weeks been like for you personally?
Hard, different, but I'm happy to be playing basketball. So like I say, every day is going to get better to me.
He just looked so sad during that when he was saying it's hard.
So I'm happy for the new journey.
Keep smiling.
Thank you.
Mike.
Well, the trade was a life changer for Luka Doncic and a game changer for the LA Lakers.
Man, that one.
It has reshaped the entire NBA.
Yeah, I saw buddy from Mavs Twitter, Jared, was like, man, watching Lakers fans react to an extremely normal Luka game, like, oh my God, dude, he just does this.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That was a C plus B minus game.
Yes, 30, 10, and 10.
He shot it okay, but I mean, there's going to be nights where he goes 9 of 13 from 3, and you're like, he can do that?
No, that first game he played when he just did a step back.
Oh, the step
and
back.
the guy, he didn't really almost fall, but it's just like that's what Luka does, and they're just beside themselves. Like, wow, look at this, and I hate that for them.
It sucks.
We had that 3 times a week.
JJ Redick post game.
This morning we talked about going to war. Be willing to die on the court. All right, I was so amped today. I should have been able to take a nap. I couldn't sleep last night. I was up till 5 a.m. I couldn't even nap today. Pre-game, I'm laying on the floor doing my breathing exercise. I'm envisioning what our team is going to play like. And you guys went even higher. You went even higher. And frankly, our conviction and our belief in the game plan, the bench was great. Everybody contributed. Luka, it's good to have you back. Yes, sir. It's good to have you back.
He's sitting over there.
First team on defense.
Anyway.
I could even hear Dorian in there.
Picking him up full court? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
First team on defense. First team on defense. Rui, Vando.
Okay.
How can you not love JJ Redick? That's another thing, too, is he gets to go play for a cool coach. You remember when Redick and Lucas sat down on his podcast when he was here for like a month?
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Whoa, these two guys with LeBron. Nah, it's awesome, dude. Everything's going great. I don't know, DeGrom, you think about what Chris Sale did after missing a ton of time over
if
3
we could just
seasons.
get double-digit starts out of DeGrom, that's got to be a win.
I'm not ready.
The other Redick,
they're going to start. Then J.J. Redick after the game also said, we'll be running the offense through Luka.
Yeah.
And that was part of the first couple of games. That's LeBron's team. That's they made this trade to be Luka's team. Now, if you're with LeBron, it's always kind of LeBron's team. But even LeBron probably has to admit, I'm 40, and everybody involved in this. Like, I'll bet Anthony Davis was just honored to be the guy traded for Luka. Like, really? Like, everybody involved in this is like, I could see. Like, if you really didn't tell LeBron ahead of time, he would have to just sit and nod afterwards and go, well.
Yeah, and how many
you had
moves
a
like
chance
that
to
are
get
there?
Luka.
2, 3? Where you can just do it and not tell LeBron in the event that they didn't, and you just know it's going to be fine because LeBron's going to be like, well, yeah, it's Luka.
Yeah, you had to get him. And that's the thing.
How is Dalton Connect still in this locker room?
That's why, right.
Explain the trade to me.
Anyone. Again, Austin Reeves, you shouldn't have said, or who'd they get? Max Christie. And many are saying, hey, maybe he was held back there. Okay, maybe. And maybe he's good, but you should also get Austin Reeves. You should get everything they have.
Well, if he's actually playing himself into form, I don't know that they're a threat, but if you have those 3 guys offensively, you're going to be able to hang with just about anybody. If LeBron's healthy and Luka's healthy and AR's right, then that's a 1-2-3 that's tough to top.
I wonder
they don't play any defense, but whatever.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
You can have an answer for that is just score more.
You're going to need to see their culture, though.
The one little thing that's happening there is will Luka re-sign here? Like, that's their worry. Like, they want him to sign an extension there.
They should be worried.
And a thought is perhaps that they backed out on the Mark Williams deal. They failed him on his physical. He was the big man they acquired from, is it Charlotte?
Mm-hmm. They just played.
And some are saying, at least through Shams, that they shouldn't have failed. Like, that was what he had was not failable. You shouldn't have failed him. But the Lakers backed out after possibly initial talks with Luka did not indicate that he is real gung-ho about absolutely I'm re-signing with LA.
Interesting.
So it's just theory, rumor. But, they didn't have a chance to talk to him. I mean, that's why the Mavs didn't get that extra first-round pick, as reported. I mean, that's where he still says, no, you still just can't talk to him. I need that first-round pick, or else just we're not doing this deal.
You'd think.
But Rob Pelinka sniffed the blood in the water. He recognized the idiot at the table was not him, and that this guy really wants to get this deal done. He has to get this deal done more than me somehow. That's when Rob Pelinka's sitting there. I can't believe this is happening. And I'm going to theorize that it goes back to ownership as well, that they just didn't want to pay that supermax.
But what if he doesn't resign? And Pelinka just sent AD and maybe a good player in Christie.
Then it's still a great trade for Pelinka because you have to do that.
You have to figure it out. AD will
time.
be free in a couple years anyways. Or at least needing a new contract. LeBron's old. You got to take that shot, again, as Dan said. 100 out of 100.
Right. That's why no matter what happens in the future, it's still a bad deal for the Mavs and a good deal for the Lakers. Even if Luka doesn't re-sign there, because now it's on the Lakers to make sure he re-signs there. But you have to take a shot like that when you have a guy like that. If you find an idiot franchise willing to give up a guy with this talent, it's the talent. You can't teach that. You can't. All right.
Well, I'm sure tomorrow night will be fun.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Little TNT game.
Mavs at Lakers.
Gear up. I can tell how bummed you are. I just lose him for minutes at a time.
No, it's going to be very difficult. I don't know why, man. This hurts me.
It hurts me too.
All right. Today in Twitter.
Sure. Let's do it.
Brought to us by Ownwell.
I'm going to plug my computer in while you talk to the fine folks about Ownwell.
Ah, very good. Yes, Ownwell is the place where homeowners save on property taxes. So instead of spending hours filing your property tax appeal and preparing for an in-person hearing, that's weird because I was working on some tax stuff this weekend. And so I searched in my computer tax, and I found a time that we pitched, like all this paperwork we put together. It took so many hours to try and pitch, and then we saved like $20, like something really ridiculous.
Ugh.
But it's so many hours and driving down. Ownwell does that for you. You spend 3 minutes. And you get money back. They get money from you only if you get money back. And the money they get from you is a very low percentage, lowest on the market. They'll take 25% versus everyone else takes about 40 or 50% of the savings they get you.
And they saved me some money on my cable bill, and I think they only saved me, I don't know, $50 or something, and they said it's on the house. So they're not going to take 25% of everything. I think there's a certain threshold.
Wow.
But that's just the good people that they are. Ownwell.
Ownwell.com/thedumbzone. Sign up, put it on auto renewal like Blake did. Save yourself some money, save some time with Ownwell.com/thedumbzone.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in Twitter.
All right, a couple minutes ago, I definitely thought Dan was about to step into a sack, but he did not. When you were referencing things you saw on Twitter regarding the Mavs.
I know they didn't ban the jerseys.
No, but Dez didn't.
Oh, okay. Yes, there was a tweet that said the Mavs banned wearing Luka jerseys to the arena.
Yeah, and it had
which is somewhat believable if a piece of black tape over a Mavs logo was banned.
We do it all the time whenever we get ball sacked. You could believe it. That's exactly what this was. And I think the people at NBA Centel and Ballsack had gone out of their way to actually write fake emails and take screenshots of them. So they just got this email from Mavs PR. Ridiculous. So it took off. There was probably a 0.01 second where I saw it and was like, what?
Yeah, I believed it.
But Dez went ahead and mashed that retweet. You think Dez is terribly digitally literate?
Well, yeah, because he sells Bitcoin, and he can talk to you all day about that.
He deleted that. He had to delete it after throwing it up on the X. Do you think he ever says that when he tweets?
Probably.
I'm throwing it up on the X. Couple other quick ones here. So Tim Hardaway Sr., who we're all very familiar with here, right?
Oh yeah.
He
doesn't like gay people.
He does not. He's let me test this audio real quick, Blake. Let me see if this works.
But why is it that an
Okay, that's not right. I got it back here. So Tim Hardaway Jr. played for the Mavericks for a long time. Tim Hardaway Sr. was part of Run TMC, the famous Warriors team. And yeah, we played him on Dan Lebitard many years ago because an NBA player who had retired had just come out as gay, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. was asked about it, and he was not too cool about it.
Want to hear it?
Oh, yeah, if you want to play it, sure.
Tim Hardaway, last question before we let you go. How do you deal with a gay teammate?
Oh, first of all, I wouldn't want him on my team. And second of all, if he was on my team, I would, really distance myself from him because I don't think that's right. And, I don't think that, he should be in a locker room while we're in a locker room. And it's just a whole lot of other things. So I wouldn't even be a part of that. But, it's stuff like that going on, and there's a lot other people I hear like that's still in the closet and don't want to come out the closet. But, I just leave that alone.
You know that what you're saying there, though, Timmy, is flatly homophobic, right? It's just it's bigotry.
Well, I hate gay people, so I let it be known. I don't like gay people. I don't like to be around gay people. I don't, I'm homophobic. I don't like it. It shouldn't be in the world for that or in the United States for it. So yeah, I don't like it.
Hey, props to Tim Hardaway for
sticking to his guns.
I think the next day he might have apologized, but
once his boss made him.
Yeah.
But in the moment, yeah.
He's like, that's homophobic. Oh, it is? Okay, I am homophobic. I guess you're not understanding what I'm saying.
He hadn't heard that before.
I don't know how much simpler I can make this for you.
Yeah, I wasn't aware there was a word for this, but great. Yes, I am homophobic.
So, Tim Hardaway Sr. was on, I guess this might have been out at the NBA All-Star game, but Tim Hardaway Sr. was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. And he started going on some rant about, he did the thing where like guys back in guys in this era couldn't have played in my era.
Sure.
And he's up there with like Swaggy P and a couple other guys. Like, there's no way Gilbert could have played, but there's no way that any of you could have played. And then he starts getting really fired up talking about Pacers All-Star Tyrese Halliburton, who I've never thought of as like an objectionable guy one way or the other. But Tim Hardaway just goes on this rant where he's like, I would bust his ass. If I could go back right now, if there's one player I could go after, it would be Tyrese Halliburton. Let me see if I can play this for you here real quick. Will it play, Blake?
If I go back and put on my shit and suit up, I want to go fuck up Halliburton.
Ooh,
I want to go fuck him up. He talks so much shit.
Okay.
I want to go back and bust his motherfucking
I love it.
ass.
I love it. I love that shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the energy.
he talks so much shit. I want to go back. I want to bust his ass.
So you want to bust
put the
Tyrese
jersey
Halliburton's
underneath
ass
him,
because
right?
he talks too much.
Right. And he think he all that.
Okay. So that comes out, and then I see this tweet from Tyrese Halliburton where he tweeted this clip and said, "Tell the world the real reason you feel this way, Tim." Again, Tyrese Halliburton, younger player in his prime, all NBA. And I go to the replies, and I'm like, well, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
The top reply says, for those that don't know, Tim Hardaway was on the 2000 Miami Heat with Tyrese Halliburton's cousin, Eddie Jones. Remember Eddie Jones?
The name, yeah.
Eddie Jones invited the wife of Hardaway to his Miami high-rise condo and slept with her, had her screaming. This caused serious drama. Hardaway left Miami, etc. And this is a story I'd seen in several other places on Twitter and on social media after researching it over the weekend.
So wait, Eddie Jones
is Tyrese Halliburton's cousin.
Hooked
older.
up with Tim Hardaway's wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know there's got to be a ton of teams that have been, like, as much as we joke about Tony Braxton and the 3Js.
Oh, my gosh.
The number of guys who are, like, Tim Hardaway senior level players who have been moved or someone else has been moved because of a lady, it's a long list.
Yeah.
So I thought that one was funny. Just
Yeah, they don't publicize that.
No, they just, you know what? Cap casualty. But that was not our our biggest.
Do you have an ender? Because I have one too.
I do have an ender. You go first.
So hockey's back in action after the Four Nations bit, and this takes us to the Buffalo Sabres broadcast where they've got a rinkside reporter, Rob Ray, and he's between the benches, kind of like we see Leah Hextall.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they go to this guy a lot because his mic is open, and it looks like the Rangers try to clear the puck, hits him right in the face.
How does it not happen more, folks?
Hits him right in the face. His mic is open, and it's awesome.
And Razor just took another one.
Hits him like right between the eyes.
That was a rocket. Doctors checking Razor out very quickly. That was close to the eye. Yeah, took one.
What's his name?
Rob Ray.
Yeah, I got a couple there in the eye.
Good Lord.
Stitches,
All right, so where did it hit first? Or is that all in one motion?
right where the golf ball is, right here.
Good grief.
That's not normal. That's not normal.
Oh, my God.
So he's the rinkside reporter?
Yes.
He looks like he's taken a couple off the dome before in his day.
Puck
Anyway.
is dropped and it's 4-0. Fuck! And Razor just took another one.
That's on the broadcast.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And that was
And how
a
about
rocket.
the color guy said, like, hey, he took another one. Like, does this happen all the time?
No.
The guy didn't even react that shocked. He's like, oh,
Yep.
he just
Again.
got drilled in the head again.
But
Jeez.
the play-by-play guy says, so where does it hit you? And he goes, right where the golf ball is.
Yeah,
on
there's
my
a
see
head,
it.
huge,
idiot.
You could see it.
huge bump on it.
Before our ender, we did have a little bit of science today in Twitter, as this account had a tweet that has now been seen almost 1 million times, retweeted over 15,000, that simply says, if an ant hits you going, I don't know, this is probably 1 trillion miles per hour, would you die or would it not matter? Now, we have been kicking around the idea of why doesn't an ant die when it falls off of a table for many weeks now.
Would you die? Well, maybe it might just shoot right through you.
Well, there's a.
It depends where it hits you, right?
It was probably AI, but there is in fact a top answer.
Okay.
It would kill you.
Even if it went through your arm?
Probably.
Why?
You would at least lose the limb. The ant is so. Imagine something that's going about 500 times faster than a bullet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking of a BB or something.
It would penetrate instantly. It would leave a clean, narrow hole through the skin. The sheer velocity means it would probably vaporize mid-transit due to air friction, turning it into a plasma slug before impact. Chest hit would shred your heart or lungs. Non-vital areas like an arm, you would lose a limb. But Matt Dallas, DZ RV driver and DZ Hall of Fame member, sent us a video where a guy did this science project on dropping an ant off of a table and then off of his house. Explained it quite well. Turns out terminal velocity is a thing that matters. And if you're really small, you can only get going so fast.
Oh, okay.
Like it's too small. Like when it's falling, it's small and it should keep getting faster and faster, but it doesn't because the air is pushing against it.
It'll also,
it evens out.
Kind
and
of
then,
float a little.
Exactly. Bodie style.
So even an ant falling off the Empire State Building
I don't think it makes a difference.
It would be alive?
Yeah. Well, the guy dropped it off of his house and he
just walked around.
And he slowed it down perfectly so you could see and then measure the frames per second at which the ant is falling.
Yeah.
And the little guy made it. But no, our big topic for today in Twitter is I think the kids probably call this crashing out. It's a married guy in San Antonio. Well, he was married. His wife was in, I guess, the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens have a marching band, which is cool and makes sense, right? Old school organizations that have, cool.
Well, they're not an old school organization. They did not have one when they were in Cleveland, but I think maybe the Colts did, and that was one of the things they wanted to bring it back or something. I know the Redskins did.
Yeah, the Redskins had a band. It feels like something that, you could say not an old school organization, but in my head, they are.
They are built that way.
Yeah. So this gentleman.
But I have an anti-Ravens bias.
I know. So this gentleman, his wife was in this band, the Ravens band, and he finds out that she's having an affair with none other than the NFL Network analyst Steve Smith Sr., longtime NFL wide receiver. Now, what would you do? Let's go through the range of options. You go to your wife, and you're like, this is not okay. I'm leaving. Or, hey, I caught you, and we have to talk about this. How long has this been going on? Do you love him? All these sorts of things. You could do that. What this guy opted to do was start tagging everyone on social media, including Steve Smith and also Yeti coolers.
What? Why?
to let them know that Steve Smith Sr. was dicking his wife.
I probably wouldn't have done that.
No.
If we're talking about range of options.
Yeah.
Well, he's wanting revenge a little bit. He's losing his wife.
Now his account
also makes Steve Smith.
But now everybody knows.
Yeah, but everybody knows about Steve Smith then. Maybe more importantly, like Steve Smith, if he has a wife.
He does, of 20 years.
Yeah.
She will, of course, now know about this. The guy, he crashed out super hard. He tagged, he tagged a couple golf. Did he tag? Is it TaylorMade Golf?
Why? What is the point of
He tagged
Eddie
Antonio Brown, ESPN, TMZ, the Panthers, Steve Smith, the NFL Network, Ghost Golf Club, TaylorMade Golf, Yeti Coolers, and the Ravens. So I don't know.
Is he thinking that's like hashtags that people will see this if they're looking at
I don't know.
TaylorMade golf clubs?
He's thinking Antonio Brown will amplify this and make him his cracker of the day or
cuck of the day,
Yeah,
something. I mean, Antonio Brown's probably going to bone this chick if I had to predict the next move here. But the initial one just said, wife works for the Marching Ravens. She met Steve Smith Sr. at work. Steve Smith has been fucking my wife. I got receipts. I got a lot more, homie. And
bad use of homie.
Very, very bad use. He also, I'm pretty sure, got into his wife's Facebook account and started posting there where he said, "Hi, I am Nicole Martinez, though I won't be a Martinez much longer. You see, I have been cheating on my husband."
Okay.
How every culprit writes. "I had him hidden under 3, but that's been fixed. My husband bought me a house. He stood by my side after I had been arrested twice for domestic violence.
The lady was arrested.
And this is how I repay him and our son. There's plenty of messages here, Steve. Crazy the kind of revealing messages a celebrity will send. I'm also a member of your team band," tagging the Ravens. "I believe I violated some fraternization rules by hooking up with Steve at the training facility." And then he included several screenshots, text messages from Steve Smith Sr. to his wife, and they're nasty, folks.
Sex messages.
Major sex messages, where she told him, well, first of all, a lot of the pictures that Steve Smith is sending, they're kind of from the waist up. Like, they're not flattering, which makes me think there has to be a dick in the full photo. Like, who's just taking this photo? Like, let me look down and see if I can get you a little double chin fold up. Kind of stare down at my...
Well, maybe that's her POV.
It might be, because
she looks up at Steve Smith.
One of the ones that where he sent a picture and he's kind of smiling from a lower angle, he wrote, "Turn you over and get deep inside of you." And one of her responses was, deep in an understatement. I felt like you were going to rearrange my IUD. You were so deep. My goodness.
That's good wordplay.
Rearrange.
Without it all.
Doesn't
Some
know.
people describe this as
Is
a
it?
honeypot. The man thinks he's meeting, or the woman that's interested in him. They really like it when someone
I guess this is a reply here for people who are trying to hook up. Anyways, I think if I'm him, I take this as a little bit of respect. Now, Steve Smith Sr. is not Jerry Rice, but he's not Isaiah Stanback. Like, if it takes an NFL great, like that kind of dog, to get my woman away from me, I don't think I'm too beaten up over that. If it's the bartender at, where she hangs out after work and he's just some guy, then you're like, Jesus, really? Or it's like she's a high school teacher and the kid's a 15-year-old edge rusher.
Yeah,
like,
No,
God,
it's
really?
not that embarrassing to lose
But
out
it's like,
to Steve
dude, he's
Smith.
on TV. He was a very good player. He's scary. I don't know that I would say he's the most attractive-looking guy in the world.
No, but,
One of our guests today asked me if it's possible for there to be a black Roseanne.
I think
we
found one. We found
might
the
have
first
found
one.
Yeah. But if you're like, yeah, it's Steve Smith. Who took your wife again?
Right.
James from HR?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like you guys always say, don't ask. Because if I were just to be told my wife is having an affair with Steve Smith, I think of him like the rowboat celebration in the end zone, scoring touchdowns. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But when he is saying I would have shot my nut all inside your pussy, that makes me feel bad.
It's tougher to focus on the football.
That was his sex talk?
Oh,
yeah. And I like feeling it deep in my wet pussy. We don't need to see this.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
that
Yeti
makes it worse.
Yeti and TaylorMade are sponsors of Steve Smith. I don't understand
Okay.
why.
Okay.
Why does he
There
have
you
a
go.
golf sponsor?
I could see it. And then, of course, everyone goes and finds her.
Oh, yeah. Various different pictures of her and looking better or worse. Yeah. I'm on board with. And then you also got pictures of his wife and how they actually look kind of similar. He's got kind of a type.
Yeah.
So
She's a little more ratchety. Here, can we play the video? He posted a video of him calling Steve Smith. I guess he probably like called from his wife's number and Steve knew what was up right away, but there's not much to this, but it is kind of interesting.
Hey, yo, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've been fucking my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
No, you're not.
posted the number too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call
You
it.
fucking knew she was married. You're not a fucking idiot, man. You're fucking Steve Smith Sr.
Senior.
You gotta hit him with senior.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah, so that phone number I imagine is probably no longer active, but I don't know. I don't really think Steve Smith Sr. owes you anything, pal.
Oh.
That's not a
No,
problem between the two of you.
Right. It's my mom being mad at my dad's new wife.
Yeah.
It's not her fault. If you'd have kept it together a little better. Let's look in the mirror a little bit, number one. But yeah, then be mad at the husband. Be mad at the guy. That guy should be mad at his wife. But,
Steve.
with your anger, you're probably
Steve.
Steve. Hey.
Hey, yo, Steve.
What if you were doing that and you got that call? Would you? Well, I guess they said he's sorry, so that's
I don't
nice.
know, man. My bad.
I'm sorry.
She had the glasses and she was doing the whole marching band thing. And then the other funny thing is people went back and found there's like a promotional day where Steve Smith joined the Raven marching band. And he's got the plume thing, like the marching band thing on.
See, and you wonder how, maybe this is to alert Steve Smith's wife, but there's also a very good possibility that the Steve Smith's wife knows.
Yeah.
or at least just knows he used to run around a lot.
It's not a thing.
Maybe thinks he doesn't anymore. I kind of personally, I think it's like a Jerry Jones situation where like it's a, just don't embarrass me in public. But I kind of know we just don't talk about it. We understand that because you provide so much, I'm willing to live in this. Like, don't you think there's a lot of NBA wives that are kind of into
course.
that? Or pro athlete wives?
Yeah. Of
Which
course.
I try to explain to my wife. Look.
Number 5 on Substack.
Yeah.
I love
Take
the,
a run at Aaron.
I love the idea that you're so mad at somebody, yet you have to identify all 3 of their names.
It is great.
You are Marion Barber
Senior.
III.
Oh.
Steve Smith Sr.
Steve.
All right, well.
And
that's today's
was
show, right?
Today in
Yeah.
Twitter.
Okay. Let's take a break, guys.
Hey, Steve.
Steve.
We still got that promo code page up on the dumbzone or dumbzone.com.
We do.
Do we have a Lucy promo code these days?
Let me see here. Promo codes, Lucy nicotine pouches. Go to lucy.co/dumbzone and use promo code dumbzone to get 20% off your first order.
What's your favorite flavor?
Apple ice.
Espresso.
Yeah, so they have these things that like break open.
The breakers.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
To enhance the flavor
Yeah.
of
It's quite nice.
the Lucy nicotine pouch.
A little extra flavor, a little extra juice.
No tobacco.
No tobacco
Correct?
whatsoever.
This is what
That's how I start my day.
I feel like this is Clayton's lunch.
Yeah. Clayton's a Lucy for lunch guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go and relax in a sauna and just like hide out, pop a couple Lucy's, and you are on your way. It's a cleaner. Here's how I thought about. I wanted to talk about this weekend when I was ordering some Lucy. You know how I was never a big cigarette smoker, right? But
Just when drinking, right?
You know how when you did smoke some cigarettes, you became aware like, oh, these are just the generic ones that everyone has and they're kind of gross. And then you figured out like, oh, there's actually ones that have a better flavor to them and a better taste and they feel cleaner. That's my comparison. Without naming brand names. You don't want just the generic one that everybody gets. You want the Lucy at lucy.co/dumbzone. Can I play you one thing from the OJ documentary?
Oh, that's right. You're all into this now. I watched it a couple weeks ago. It's great.
Yeah.
It's Netflix, right?
Netflix. It's 4 parts. It's all about the manhunt. And like anything with OJ, you're like, how can I possibly learn anything new or more from this? And through 2 episodes, I would say I have.
Well, it's about the manhunt now. You're going to get into the trial now.
Okay, yeah. So I'm through
Last
2.
couple, yeah.
But there are still things that I think I forgot. I think I forget the kids were there. That doesn't really ever get talked about because they were upstairs and they took them out through the other side of the house that you don't see on TV ever.
I had
the driveway side.
I had never seen still photos that graphic. Had you?
No, I mean you can basically tell that there's a head missing in some of the photos they show. Like the head is off to the side enough. It's more graphic than any I've seen. But I think because I've seen crime scene photos, maybe not to that degree, I forget the kids were there.
Yeah.
It's just the kids never saw any of it because they were able to get to them and get them out through another door.
If they didn't, they would become Dexter.
Yeah.
That's how Dexter
Splatter
was born. No, his parents were brutally murdered, and the cop that was the investigator on the scene picked up this little kid in the middle of all the blood and carried him out.
Yeah, rescued in blood.
Took him to the upside down world.
Now you're just joking around, but I was being very, very serious about OJ's kid perhaps becoming Dexter. I don't appreciate you're just treating this so lightly.
I enjoyed the note that I think it might have been in the first episode, so he hadn't even turned himself in yet, but it reminded me of hearing about Jerry in his office when one of his cop buddies said they went to go see OJ and he had 4 TVs up with all of them on different networks covering the case.
Okay, so this goes into a thing I've got that is a problem I have with movies and TV shows. One of them is movie fires, because if you're a fire aficionado like I am, you know that it'll look nice for like 10 minutes, but then you got to get in there and mess with it and put it on a piece of wood. One of them I have with movie babies.
Yep.
Never need any, like, you ever see you didn't do Ozark, did you? Like,
No, but I mean, I know I've heard of that talk.
it's just
about
like, oh, we have a
always-
kid, but then it's just over here and nothing, like if you have a kid and it's awake, you always know and it's always around or something, but you could just have a movie baby and, oh no, I just fed the baby and it's fine. And we
I
can
mean, you
now
know
do
my
whatever we
main
want
one.
for 3 years. What?
Where nut goes.
Oh, if you're having sex?
In a movie, it just doesn't appear to.
You have sex and then you both just stop and just
Yeah,
lay there. No
everyone's
one gets
fine.
a towel.
Well,
no one goes, I
no.
got to run to the bathroom.
Nothing.
You can start doing it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's just
Close off, insert.
You flip the switch, and then somehow no one's messy, ever. I don't know.
But the thing here is,
And he's never down there like aiming it in. It's just like a perfect, just wham.
Yeah.
watch any TV show or a movie, and let's say it's about you, and there's things going on, and that you've gone viral, and whatever. You're on every network, or you're on a network, and you walk into the room, and everybody in your family is watching this thing about Jake. He was arrested, and you just like turn it off.
Yeah.
Like they're just talking about you, and they're in the middle of saying something, and you're like, turn this crap off. I don't want to see it. No, if you're on TV, you're going to be watching everything that everybody's saying.
Yeah.
And that's what OJ, so that's true. That's real life.
Of course it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that classic scene of just the TV goes black, you're like, let's get some fresh air. So then this part was, the whole thing is interesting. Like the fact that they botched it by doing the perp walk, I knew that.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like just that they let him try to turn himself in so that they could have a perp, like,
oh yeah,
let him turn himself in, but also they wanted him paraded in front of the cameras, and that's when he just didn't show up. And then we get to the chase.
Right. So much of it feels like Hollywood based. Like they wanted that, but obviously they also gave him some preferential treatment because he was OJ, and they allowed him to and the old grizzled veteran cop is like, I knew immediately that was terrible.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go arrest him and bring him in like we would any other person.
I
thought when the chase happened, as everyone thought, well, this solidifies he'll never get off now.
Yeah.
Once you have this in the can, you know that, I mean, there's no way you can be found innocent.
And there's a crazy amount of stuff, too. Like, just on what you know, obviously it's crazy he was not convicted. But just on the stuff that they don't include in the trial, like as they're going through this, they'll be like, was not interviewed.
This witness who
not
saw
interviewed,
saw him throw away a duffel bag at the airport.
Yes.
Like an hour after the thing.
Cops never talk to him. Or they'll say, this bag was recovered, never fingerprinted. Yeah. Or this blood was found, never tested.
Then you wonder, is it
like what?
The prosecution office?
Yeah. So another thing I don't think I've ever really thought about is OJ was married before, and he was married for like 12 years. OJ was married to Marguerite Whitley from 1967 to 1979. And Marguerite actually called into the national news, a la Baba Booey, in the middle of the OJ White Bronco chase.
And it's just on the air with them?
Yeah. So she just calls in, and she, similar to Baba Booey or Sweaty Jen Olsen guy, they put her on, and she has a bit of a, hey, do you remember when you played for the 49ers type bit? And I cried laughing the first time I heard this. Trigger warning for language.
We've been watching black men be set up, falsely accused.
That's Christopher Darden.
We've been watching black men be set up, falsely accused. We all have a story. When that Bronco went down the 405, it drug us all in. All of a sudden, we all have some personal, emotional connection to O.J. Simpson in this case.
We have O.J.'s first wife, Marguerite, on the telephone right now. Marguerite, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I'm here. I'm very gentle, sweet Marguerite.
We have O.J.'s first wife, Marguerite, on the telephone right now. Marguerite, are you there?
Yes. just wanted to say, OJ, we love you, please. Run, nigga, run!
Marguerite, you're urging OJ to run?
Run and run!
Yes, OJ, if you can hear me, run! Run and run! And she just yells the N-word.
Jay's first wife, Marguerite, on the telephone right now. Marguerite, are you there?
Yes. I just wanted to say, OJ, we love you, please. Run, nigga, run!
Marguerite, you're urging OJ to run, to escape?
Go, OJ, don't. Keep going, keep going. Stand up for yours. Keep going.
Stand up for yours, OJ. Keep
Wow.
going, keep going. And it's
Wow.
live on TV.
Is that actually her then, or no?
Man, I feel like if it wasn't, this documentary would have gotten to the bottom of that.
Okay, because if it was, that seems weird too. Like, yeah, it all seems.
I mean, it sounds like she's kind of on her, the way that the Darden quote sets it up, like she's on her black power shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the Darden's like, look, we all kind of got wrapped up in this in the black community of like, we just think he should get off.
Darden's a fascinating part of the whole thing too.
Yeah, I always liked him.
I mean, but his try on the glove thing, which he claims he kind of did on his own, and the rest of the prosecution is not distancing from that idea because it went so poorly.
Yeah.
They must have paid him a lot of money to be on this Netflix documentary because there's no way.
You just want to
Nothing
show
really,
up looking bad?
Yeah, nothing really. I didn't come away from this going, you know what? He kind of got railroaded a little bit. No, it makes him look bad all over the place. He does look like a DEI ad, if you want to call it that, or just an obvious thing that you might want to have some black people on the. But they laid it out as, I don't know if they've mentioned this yet, but they thought it was such a strong case that we don't have to care about the venue. Remember the Rodney King trial? I don't think was tried downtown L.A. It was tried in some kind of, is it Simi Valley? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
More of a white area. And, the just about all white jury acquitted the Rodney King police officers. And I think because of that, because that was in the air, they wanted to make sure they did it, in this jurisdiction with more black jurors. Because they had done that before, they didn't want the impropriety. And they just thought, this is such an open and shut thing. He was in the Bronco chase. We got all this evidence that it doesn't matter what jury we get, they will convict him.
Yeah.
But Christopher Darden was black. He was the only black team member.
At least 2 episodes in, Marcia Clark not taking the check that Christopher Darden did to appear here. I haven't seen her. Have you? Do you know if she's?
Do you want me to tell you?
Oh.
No, she doesn't appear.
I didn't think so. I mean,
they
would have used that earlier.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know if it's Peter Jennings or whoever. Everybody's just like, we're going to go to Marguerite now for a solemn message from the
Run! Did you see the whole?
Don't go in there!
The whole chase then?
Like she's at Scream.
To when they got to his house and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Saw everything?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. Like, I can't even imagine that it actually happened.
And he's on the phone like, just let me get to my house.
But people were running to Hobby Lobby for cardboard and giant Sharpies to make huge signs.
Yeah.
And they'd be hanging them over or making a bed sheet and painting on a bed sheet, just hanging, Run OJ or Go Juice or whatever, and then running to the next, like, oh, man. All right, I see where he is on the highway. If I make this thing real quick and I get over there in 5 minutes, I can hang this up. It's incredible, and it was bigger than any parade you've ever seen, like for a championship winning team.
Oh yeah,
just the people lining the highways and lining.
The other crazy thing too is I don't know that you or I will ever be famous enough for this to have landed this way, but if you have an entire life of doing commercials out there and doing goofy sketches, if you kill your wife, the documentary is super easy to make.
Yeah, there's so much.
Because the amount of times that OJ is just like, come here, bitch, like in a movie, or he's like, I'm going to get out of here right now, or they'll never catch me. They just splice that into the documentary every minute. It's gold. Really well done. Run!
Let's do the news in a second. You know who Harvey Specter is from Suits?
I am aware. Yeah,
Gabriel
sharp-dressed
Mock.
man.
Yeah. Anyway, they Bear Fight Whiskey has launched an ad campaign starring Gabriel Mock, posing the question, "What's your bear fight?" While known for his sharp, confident role as Harvey Specter, Mock has stepped into this latest venture as the guy behind the suit, ready to take a playful look at all the challenges we face, celebrating with a damn good whiskey. As a creative partner and equity stakeholder, Mock is leading the charge and connecting with people on a personal level, reveling in the grit and grace it takes to get through life's twists and you know about that, twists and turns.
I do.
So this campaign inviting people to share their daily bear fights with Bear Fight Whiskey, whether you're crushing it at work, guilty as charged, chasing a lifelong dream. Anyone doing that here?
I'm not.
You still doing that? No?
No, I stopped last Friday.
Well, anyway. Or just wrestling with your kid's booster seat. Every day brings a new fight. Win or lose, Bear Fight Whiskey is there to help you celebrate at the end of the day. So check out Bear Fight Whiskey. If you are ready for a bold new favorite, you can order Bear Fight Whiskey at bearfightwhiskey.com.
And my dude Colin sent me a photo of his bear fight purchase just this weekend. I don't know if you can.
Let's check out.
That.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a sweet bottle. Bearfightwhiskey.com.
Why would you show that to your monitor and not your camera?
I don't know.
You did show that to the monitor and not hold in front of the camera.
Did it end up on camera?
I will hold this up, and if we're bragging about things people have sent us on camera.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show the monitor. No. Got a little note here.
Aw.
Dave Raymond left us a note.
What a nice guy. He had to make sure the pin worked.
Maybe he had to make sure the pen worked.
Up there at the top. He left that here?
Yeah, they was sitting on my desk when I walked in.
What a guy, that Dave Raymond. Maybe we'll speak with him soon.
Yeah.
When is opening day?
27th?
Here's Jay.
March?
Yeah, March 27th. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks and 3 days away. And we'll be there on the bus.
Were you on the bus last year? Of course you were.
Yeah.
Because I know you go to opening day every year, right?
Yeah. I finished the show, then walked across and went in the game.
What do you guys know about Sebastian Walcott?
He's 18 and what, the second best prospect?
Most say should be one.
Yeah. I agree.
You're going to be a 6'5" shortstop? Probably ends up probably going to be a left fielder for you, Dan.
You got Wyatt out there. Maybe he's your right fielder after Adolis.
This, my friends,
Can he fill the Luka-sized hole in my heart? Like, is he that good? You say the number one prospect in all of baseball, or no? Or just for the Rangers?
It's trending that way.
He's number 2 in all of baseball.
Oh.
Yeah. So many are saying that by his age 34 season, he'll finally pop. Like Profar and have
the last number one
have
prospect
one
they
good
had.
season.
Yeah.
This is a crazy story. Feels like the sort of thing that's going to at least end up on a nice Dateline, if not a Netflix series of its own. Had a couple people email me about this. So there's a teacher at Highland Park.
Hey now.
I think they've probably been relieved of their duties for now. However,
name?
This does not involve a teacher-student sex story, so your hey nows are fine for now. This is actually involving a quarter-century-old cold case of something that took place in North Carolina. It's back in February of 2000. There was a 9-year-old girl named Asha Degree. She went missing. She's a 9-year-old. She was a 9-year-old black girl. And this teacher at Highland Park, I believe, was 14 or 15 at the time. And her sister, and her father in North Carolina were all kind of persons of interest at the time that this little girl disappeared. But they're only in the last month or so getting new information, new warrants, new DNA. And they have some questions for this teacher at Highland Park, of which she has been evasive. They approached her at school, at Highland Park Middle School. She basically told them to buzz off. They asked her for a polygraph. She said no. And then they got the text messages between her sister, and her father. And there's a lot of talk about this murder. Like, they think I did it. They think she did it. They think Dad did it.
The text exchange,
yeah,
saying they think you did it or whatever.
Yeah. They found this girl's book bag like 6 years later. And in that book bag were some of her belongings, the 9-year-old who's missing, but also a couple things that weren't hers, including a book from her school library that she did not check out and another little girl's T-shirt. So they've got that. Wrapped in garbage bags, they found that about 20 miles north of where she disappeared. They had eyes on a vehicle that she was said to have been getting into, an old beat-up
So
green
never
vehicle.
found the girl, never found the body.
No.
Right.
Beat-up old green vehicle. When they served these search warrants on their properties in the last half year, they found the beat-up old green vehicle. And there's also a witness that came forward and said that at a house party in the mid-2000s, so let's say this is 5 years after the incident, the two sisters were at a party. The younger one was extremely intoxicated and was upset, crying, talking about how she had killed 9-year-old Asha. At which point her older sister told her to shut the front door, stop crying.
Is older sister the teacher?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think the older sister was 16. The younger sister from Highland Park was 13 or 14.
Oh, the younger sister was the one crying.
I think so, yeah. Who was probably
saying
at that
she killed
point
her.
18 or 19. But yeah, and the text messages are very damning.
Dude, are people going to learn that your text, you can't just then delete your text?
You know what else? As part of this, I read the warrant, and there's stuff in there about how, like, they can force you to look at or use your finger to unlock something if they have a warrant. Like, so let's say that your phone or your computer you think you're all slick, Snowden, and it can only do your face. There's actually a way that law, at least in North Carolina, is written where it says something like, have permission to compel the subject to unlock phone via physical. They're going to get your shit if they want it.
Like if you have a safe at home.
Yeah.
And they get a warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way that it's written is very, very specific of, like, you're going to give them what they want. So in the case of this girl, she was in bed that night. Her dad came in and saw her in bed, the 9-year-old, at 2:30 in the morning. She was in bed. The next time she was seen, she was walking on a freeway. This is in the country in North Carolina at 4 o'clock in the morning. 2 truckers saw her, say that they saw her. One of them stopped and tried to make contact but failed to do so. You got to imagine, that's got to be tough. Like, let's say you're out in...
You're a trucker.
You're in the middle of nowhere.
You see a 9-year-old walking.
Like, whoa, what the... And then you got to wait for your next exit or pull over. Like, it's just not easy.
Yeah.
So, no, that's the last time anybody made contact for her.
So this is a 9-year-old was a black girl teacher?
Everyone else
White
here
or
is
black?
white.
Okay.
But, again, yeah, this is apparently very hot on... They're taking a break from Akator to post in the Highland Park Moms group about this. And everyone's like, wasn't here. Wasn't here. This person did something racist. It wasn't here. And if you read through the text messages also, it's tough to tell who's covering for who. Whether it's the dad covering for the girl or the girl's covering for the dad. But somebody in this family killed this girl.
I would think it'd be less, well, based on my situation, it would be less likely that the girls would ever cover for the dad.
Man, I don't know, though. Yeah, and I know what you mean, but, you know, some backwoods Southern family, like if there is a racial component to it. But, you know, there is also some signs of the Roast twins in the text messages where they're like, this is not our problem. We're tired of taking care of his stuff. Like, this is, we don't need to keep having to live this way. And, yeah. So, again, it feels like this is going to become a national story.
Yeah.
Another wild one from the world of sinister romance, a la Steve Smith. A woman named Aurora Phelps, 43-year-old woman from Las Vegas. She has dual citizenship in the U.S. and Mexico. She's been charged with a number of accounts, but over the weekend, they announced sort of a superseding, overarching 21-count indictment for her role in an alleged romance scheme. So starting back in 2021, there are at least 4 men that she has lured with the promises of romance online, actually met up with these men in person, and then to varying degrees drugged and robbed them. Some of them, like, only while they were drugged. Others, she would gain access to their accounts without them knowing while they were drugged, and then kind of keep the relationship going so the next time she saw him again, you know, hey, get back into your phone here. But very advanced operation. There's some basic stuff like, quote, cause him to consume a prescription drug without his knowledge and consent. But in the case of this guy, she left the elderly man unconscious for almost 5 days, stole his phone, stole his tablet, stole his driver's license and bank cards, used that information to sell off his Apple stock valued at about $3.3 million.
Damn.
On E-Trade. However, in that particular case, she was unable to remove the money from his account. The last victim that she robbed, she met at a Hard Rock hotel in Guadalajara in Mexico where she was living. That guy died at that hotel. She used one of his accounts to buy something called an APEMX coin, Clayton. Apparently, she was just buying gold. And she had that mailed to her house. There she is on screen, Dan, if you were interested in Googling this story at home. Aurora Phelps is her name.
All right.
Yeah.
You never want to hook up with an Apple Store employee because they might do this to you. Like they can get in your stuff, figure that out right away. Right? Like a Genius Bar chick, you're thinking it's all cool because she has a nose ring.
Well, no, I was actually focusing more on that part in my experience with that type and telling you that it's not, even before they steal your credit card, it's not always easy.
What do you mean easy?
Well, you were like, this is the reason you don't want to date a girl.
I'm just saying you're enamored with it.
Well,
you know she's wild.
What I'm telling you is there's a lot of reasons you don't want to date her.
But one is that they could really hack into your...
Yes.
Like if you hooked up with my wife, you're going to have a lot of problems, but one of them will not be...
You feel like if
her being able to get into your electronics.
You feel like if I were subject, like I was having romance with your wife and she got an idea about fleecing me, you think that I'd be safe with my 2-factor authentication?
That's right.
That's probably enough.
1 factor is plenty on her. Dude, is there anything worse than 2-factor authentication? I think it's probably saving us a lot of something in the end, but it feels like it's not protecting us. It's probably protecting the company more.
The only thing worse is 2-factor authentication with a 6-month. You got to change your password every 6 months.
Oh my God,
we don't have to do that anymore.
No, that was a big cumulus thing.
A huge beating. I can't keep adding 69 to this.
Have you had one? I had one recently. It wouldn't let me just do any variation of what my previous password was.
Yeah, my wife was actually telling me about that this morning at her job. Any word you've ever used.
Yeah.
Right. So if I had Steve Smith 1 and then Steve Smith 2 and then Steve, every year you just do a different thing.
Steve Smith Sr. 1.
Right.
Yeah, that's a horrible bit.
Steve Smith IUD. Yeah, I don't think that I can get regular scammed, but I could see a scenario where your wife's gone, you're old, you have old balls, and you have maybe a little bit of money, and you're not like your kids are okay, and you're like, whatever. I'm gonna go spend a week in Guadalajara with some hoochie mama from Tinder for $5,000. Why not?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, she's selling all my Top Shots for
oh no,
my NFTs.
Not your Dennis Smith Jr.
for low value.
Boy, what an error that was.
She's giving away all my Hawk Tua coin.
Where's she at?
I saw her come out and talk, and it was not encouraging. She was very scared.
I think this means we're pretty close to an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she made enough that.
She may be in some serious legal hot water, though, that could be wiping all that profit out.
She's about to give it all back.
Yeah.
It's too bad. But, hooking up with her or just out on a date, it would be it's the modern day equivalent of going out on a date with Monica Lewinsky 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. What, I'm not good enough
You're
to
just kind of
spit on?
waiting. You're just waiting. Like,
Yeah.
you're kind of making out and stuff, and you're kind of like nudging her down a little, you're pushing harder on her shoulder to.
Do you think it's like.
I know you do this.
Yeah.
I know you will. This is what it's all
in there.
based on, and like if you don't.
I imagine like.
There's got a lot of pressure on her, too.
Sometimes you'll see this in a depiction of like an agent in the back of a room while an athlete's giving a press conference. But I can also kind of see it if your kid has a speech to give or like a recital. They sometimes will show the parent in the back of the room kind of mouthing the words with them.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you have Hawk Tua girl there and you just kind of occasionally like start going.
Yeah. Trying to egg her on a little bit.
The only thing funny about this Aurora Phelps story is just imagining this case's versions of the Roast twins having to learn about all this. What the fuck? You sold Dad's apple stock? Like, there's a 22-year-old college student in this story who just had their life inheritance wiped out.
Who's going to pay for my car now?
Yeah.
I haven't changed the oil in years.
Smart to buy gold, though.
Yeah, she is at the end of the day a very prudent financial woman looking to the long term with the American Precious Metals Exchange purchase.
Digging deeper into
Whoa, go away. Go, stop it. There's your news.
The Dumb Zone.
I like that.
Like and subscribe. The Dumb Zone.
Today in history.
Today in history.
Will be brought to us by Frankel & Frankel Personal Injury Attorneys. If you get in an accident, an auto accident, you should call the Frankels, 214 or 817, and then all threes. That's very easy to remember. They are here for you. They're going to fight the insurance companies for you. They will get you what you deserve.
That's right.
Just remember
Frankel.
Their names.
And remember their phone number. It's very easy. 214-817-333-3333. We don't want you to get in an accident. But it would be too much of us to ask, if you do get in that accident, to immediately call the Frankels. We're not saying force one.
No, but I mean, how many people would say, you know what? If I was going to get $1 million, I would definitely get in an accident and I'd break my knee. Like, so in that case, if you're one of those people that say that in your head, then I do want you to get in an accident. I don't generally want people to get in an accident. But
And
let's say you're one of those people. I would like the sun to shine on you today. I want you to get in an accident, and I want you to call the Frankels. And then everybody's going to win.
Yeah, I mean,
Frankels will be happy. They got a little business from their advertisement here.
Everything is
You're
super
going
on
to
the
get
up
that
and
$1
up.
million you want. You know?
Oh, yeah.
The only ones that
not a
aren't
whiff
winning.
of impropriety.
I'm just saying.
No.
Do you think I can actually affect change? I cannot. I don't know anything. But like, do you think what shirt I wear is going to make the Mavs win or lose? It's not. So I hope for a lot of things, and they just don't happen. I just hope that you're happy if you're listening here. And if your happiness is based on getting in an accident and getting a big settlement, then by God, I want that for you.
Okay. All threes.
Yeah. Where were we? Oh.
Some stuff happened probably around this
Fire
day.
up their mics. Why don't you fire up their mics? These guys are laughing over here, and nobody thinks we're doing anything funny. Fucking Blake. So today is, it's a very rare. I don't think I got a listener birthday.
Oh, wow.
Remember this day.
Okay.
Yeah. Very rarely do we have one day without a birthday. Today is Monday, February 24th. On this day in 1938, the first nylon bristle toothbrush was manufactured. Dr. West's Miracle Toothbrush. So before 1938, what was a toothbrush made of?
What were we doing?
Any idea?
Mohair?
No, it's not bad.
Horsehair?
Yarn.
Like, I don't know. I just played that music thinking somebody else would be able to answer it. On this day in 1988, in a ruling that expanded legal protections for parody and satire, the Supreme Court unanimously overturned a $150,000 award that the Reverend Jerry Falwell had won against Hustler magazine and their publisher Larry Flynt. Because in the back of Hustler, like the very last page, maybe it was the second to last page, one of them was Beaver Hunt, where you would send in a Polaroid or just send in a picture of your wife's downstairs area.
What?
Yeah.
And they would plaster them across on the last page. So, have you ever heard of Spicoli from The Bone?
No.
Okay. So he was a stoner type guy who, for like a year or two on The Bone, 93.3 in Dallas, when they were hard rock, they had a guy they called him Spicoli. And Spicoli's claim to fame was he once sent in his girlfriend's snatch on Beaver Hunt and got it into Hustler. And it was gross. Like, it was the grossest page because it was just a close-up. You wouldn't see the whole lady. You would just see like that. Maybe you would see the whole lady. Am I high?
I feel like it was a pretty tight shot, as it were.
Just search Hustler Beaver Hunt, and you're going to see a picture. But
yeah, it was like a collage, though, right? Because there was
right. There wasn't just one guy.
Yeah, no, it was like a whole page.
Yeah, like 15, 20 guys.
Yeah.
15, 20 ladies.
Yeah.
Or the home plates.
Did anybody ever do anything cool like
like to dye a heart?
Well, I was going to say, like, you know, when people will be like, hey, here's my mural of Luca that's all just different Coke cans. Is it?
That'd be great.
But it's just a bunch of different little.
Yeah, I bet somebody could do that.
I have a Generation Kill Beaver Hunt tie-in.
Okay.
It's a true story, you know? And the reporter, I think I have this clip here. Will it play? Wait.
I gotta be a battalion for a while, so make sure nothing happens while I'm there. This is a writer who's gonna embed with us. He's from Rolling Stone, so be gentle.
So they get a Rolling Stone reporter, and they're like, look at this homo.
Rolling Stone? They don't give us a dope-smoking, peace-freak writer. You gonna write about how we're all baby killers and mama rapers, huh?
Gonna tell all them people that read Rolling Stone how it feels to be in a war?
Could be worse. I used to write for Hustler.
You wrote for Hustler?
We're in the presence of greatness.
What did you write for Hustler?
Porn reviews, hot letters, Beaver Hunt.
Oh, you wrote Beaver Hunt?
This way,
hey, Brad, this guy wrote Beaver Hunt. You must have those Polaroids.
Take his bag,
Now they
like
love
a
him.
special spot. They're like, whoa, this guy wrote Beaver Hunt?
So the last two pages, like one was Beaver Hunt, one was the asshole of the month, and it was a picture of a donkey's behind, but the middle of it had Larry Flynt's face, and then it would be an article about somebody who was a really bad person. That's why Larry Flynt sued him.
Not a bad movie.
Or excuse me, it was a picture of Jerry Falwell's
Yeah.
face. Larry Flynt was the guy who owned Hustler. On this day in 2020, former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein convicted of rape and sexual assault against 2 women. And on this day in 2021...
What was the deal with his penis? It was
What-
something, like, weird, right? Like
something identifiable about it?
like deformed.
Mm. That's weird looking at him.
It is.
On this day in 2021, Lady Gaga's dog walker.
Looked like it had been chopped off and sewn back on.
It's a funny thing to be like, hey, we're finally gonna, after half a century, everyone's gonna know this guy's a raper. You're like, get him, and then everyone's like, also his dick is super weird.
Right.
It's gross.
Insulting.
And I wouldn't have liked it even if it were normal, but also it wasn't.
That was the worst part.
Yeah, if he was raping with a nice wiener, that'd be one thing.
Oh, yeah, Dog Walker got shot, right?
But it's like you were a slave, but you're owned by the Siamese twins. Like, like you got raped. Lady Gaga's dog walker shot.
Oh.
2 of her French bulldogs stolen. She offered a $500,000 reward for the return of the dogs. They were recovered unharmed 2 days later.
But the dog walker's funeral expenses, you got to take care of those on your own. Just give me my dogs back.
Right. So I think it's the dog walker because I read this as Lady Gaga's dog Walker was shot. Like I thought his name was Walker, but no. Like she has a person employed just to walk the dog, which I think sounds great. It's way down my list, but it's on the list. Like I would love a driver. That's the best. But what if you didn't have to go walk your dog? Like it's hard enough for me to like ask my wife to go do it.
Yeah, I think it's very popular in big cities. Like very popular.
Like that's a thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot harder to get your dog any sort of exercise. I used to see him by the W because there's people that live there, you know, and we'd be walking to work. I'm like,
You'd see a professional dog walker?
I mean, we would stand to reason that this guy with like 6 designer breed dogs.
Okay.
I'm just thinking like that guy, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And a famous wedding on this date in 1992, Courtney Love married Kurt Cobain.
Happily ever after.
That'll end well.
He was 25. She was 27. Birthdays today, Roddy Beaubois.
Man, Jake.
37.
Maybe still time to
do not trade him.
Provide a little scoring punch.
Untouchable.
There was once a time in this Mavs organization where they said, I can't trade Roddy Beaubois. Like, I won't trade him. Who else you want?
He had a big playoff game.
Golfer Zach Johnson, 49.
Not Paulina's husband.
That's Dustin.
Paulina who?
Gretzky.
I was thinking Porizkova. She's married to somebody famous, too.
I was thinking.
But I think he's in the Cars or something.
Rick Ocasek?
Yeah, Rick Ocasek.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Brian Flores, 44.
Lawsuit.
Phil Knight, 87. Good book.
That's what I've heard.
The Phil Knight book. Or, what's his name? Our guy.
Jordan Rogers?
Yeah, he told me to read that book. Or somebody did. Anyway, I read it. And they were right. It's good. I mean, there was no stroking of wings or anything, but still I enjoyed it. Eddie Murray is 69. Our War Games winner today. He had 68.7 WAR.
I had his baseball card as a kid.
He was on a commercial. I can't remember if it was Reebok or Nike, but they used the like the Super Racist song that's also the ice cream truck song as the theme.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've played this on the air before.
Pop Goes the Weasel.
And he's a 3-time winner of a Golden Glove. Da-da-da-da.
Well, that's not Pop Goes the Weasel.
No, but I think that ice cream truck song is about slaves.
Yeah, we've done that.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., 48.
Can't read.
You can't even read. Mike Fratello, 78.
Read.
The czar of the telestrator. Trace Cyrus, 36.
I'm pretty sure he's adopted, I think.
Oh, really?
Well, no, I learned of him because in our recent Billy Ray Cyrus at the inaugural ball thing. His son came out and was like, hey, I was, on some stuff myself. Maybe it's time Dad joins the family in the Heb.
Dominic Chianese is 94.
I don't know who that is.
Uncle Junior.
Oh, okay. Kind of looks like the Six Flags guy.
Yeah.
That
guy was awesome.
That guy was awesome.
What was Uncle Junior's bit? He didn't want to.
He ate pee,
but
he didn't want anybody to know.
That's all of our bit. Let's see. Rupert Holmes, 78. He is the author of the Pina Colada song.
Oh, wow.
Are you familiar with that?
If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Popularized in Dirty Work.
You've explained this.
Dirty Work fans in the house tonight.
Terrible lyrics, because great lyrics as far as the catch, if you like pina coladas. So the whole bit is that he's tired of his woman. I get it, bro. Okay? You're just doing the same stuff over and over again, and you're like, is this it? Is my life over? So back in the age of newspapers, he puts out a personal ad, or he's reading the personal ads, and he sees a personal ad that says, if you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain, the feel of the ocean, the taste of champagne, if you're not into yoga, you have half a brain. If you like making love at midnight, I'm the love that you look for. Write to me. Anyway, so he reads that, then he writes back to the paper. And it says here, took out a personal ad. Though I'm nobody's poet, I thought it wasn't half bad. Yes, I like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain. Not much in it. So all he did is just repeat exactly what she wrote. And then he's like, not bad. I think it's pretty good.
No poet.
And then the punchline is he then goes to meet her at this bar. And it's his woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're both happy about it. They're like, this is cool. We were both writing a thing because we hated each other. But now we realize that we are for each other because we like all these things.
Yeah, it's a tough scene. I mean, both of you know that you're looking to bang someone else.
Yeah. So I guess that night everything's going to be cool.
Right.
Because you're all
At
real
midnight.
horny and
Yeah,
everything.
midnight. Champagne.
George Thorogood is 75. I have no problem with Bad to the Bone or...
Are you serious?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying I had a problem with Rupert Holmes, but I don't know
okay.
what... I'm not, like, fired up about Bad to the
Well,
Bone.
it's just
What's wrong with it?
Bad.
That's what's wrong with it? It's a song for children?
Bad. Did he do one bourbon, one shot, one beer?
Yeah, it's the same song. He's definitely got Pass the Ketchup guy, Tone Loc.
What about his old friend Johnny Walker?
These are probably all
Your
the
old
same
friend
song.
Buddy Weiser.
How did they let him get away with that?
And almost all of his songs were covers.
Really?
Yeah. They're all older songs that he just decided to redo.
Bad to the Bone.
I mean, that's exceptionally bad if you think about it.
Yeah, like that
pretty
sounds like from
all-encompassing.
like the 30s or something.
He's not surface level bad.
All the way.
Sammy Kershaw,
Sammy
67. Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out is 36.
Yeah.
He was also in
Very
a
interesting.
pretty good Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
And
from London.
in a new series that I'm starting today, we're trying to freshen this thing up for 2025.
Hit me.
Name that Friends secondary character.
Oh, I can't play.
Well, this isn't really directed at you.
I know.
You ready?
Yeah, I was born ready.
Deborah Jo Rupp is 74. Deborah Jo Rupp is 74. I'll tell you her name, and then you tell me who she was. Like, I'll tell you her name on the show.
Okay.
Maybe in the future, because I just came up with this series just moments ago,
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw a picture. Show you a picture every time. But her name in Friends is Alice Knight.
This is not off to a good start. I don't know.
Can the bit.
See if I open this
Because it's not Generation Kill. We got to kill the bit.
If I show you this
You're
photo
outnumbered now.
Well, can I even turn this with the music and everything? Can you see?
Oh, that's Phoebe's brother's girlfriend, who Phoebe had to have her triplets with, or 4, and then wanted to keep one.
There you go.
That's
She married Phoebe's brother.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I'll still give it to you.
I think that's great.
Also, Kitty from that 70s show.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Born on this day, now dead, Steve Jobs.
Oh, no, I'll just drink all this juice. It'll work great. If I just believe in it.
A wonderful biography on Steve Jobs. But yes.
Isn't there a chapter in the middle that's just about what a good dad he was?
No, I don't. I think he was a terrible dad.
Oh.
Are you joking?
Of course I'm joking.
Oh, okay, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, the thing is, he invited this biographer in to do a biography on him. He knew he was dying and said, all is open.
That is cool.
I think Walter Isaacson.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
It's wonderful, and it would highlight, he would park in handicap parking spots everywhere he went. Didn't care. I don't do that. Why, are you looking at me?
I'm definitely not. I'm looking across at the two of you and feeling like I could at least get some.
I've never done a handicap spot for more than like 10 seconds. He would go into a restaurant and just sit down and eat, parked in a handicap spot because it was close, and he would be like, I'll just pay the ticket.
Don't look away from me.
Jake is looking at me, Dan.
Why?
I stole my buddy's grandma's handicap sticker, and I parked in handicap parking for a very long time.
Well, at least you had that sticker. He would just... Although maybe Steve Jobs did it better because then he would contribute to the local economy because he would just pay the ticket.
I just needed a place to park at North Texas. So I parked in the church's parking lot across the street in their handicap spot.
Did you fake a limp or anything?
Nope.
But also, he did get diagnosed with cancer, but just he was a vegan and he just thought, yes, I'll drink juice, I'll eat more greens, and I will holistically, because a lot of times, like it's written in here, the reason they think he acted like this is because he would be told stuff couldn't be done, like with the iPhone or developing the iPod or whatever, and the engineers would be like, you can't do this, you can't do this, and he would kind of will it into existence, and they would end up doing it, and it would work. And so he kind of felt like he could just do that throughout life. He could will this thing away.
You know, why not both is what my thought would be. Why not more kale and chemo, but each their own.
Try them, yeah.
By the way, my wife fight over the weekend, an otherwise great time.
Love it.
Friday night at the school. We weren't late. It was at 6. But it's a come and go thing. We got there at 6:05. Parking non-existent, other than like in the neighborhood the school's in, which to me is fine because I'll just drop them off at the front door and I'll just walk with my boy, let him run around.
10 minutes of silence.
No problem. There's the key.
And you're viewed as a great guy.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Oh,
but she's like, no, let's just park up here. Other people are, which is the fire lane. Now, there are cars in the fire lane. I'm like, I just don't want to do that.
And now you're arguing in front of the kids.
Yeah, and I'm just like, can we not even try it? She's like, they're just gonna tow you. I'm like, I just don't do it. It says don't do it. I don't do it. Sorry.
Then she's
trying
like,
to have a properly functioning society. And then she was like, I'm gonna call Steve Smith and have him rearrange my IUD.
Senior.
Drinking Jake would have parked there.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, for sure.
Prehab Jake would have parked there.
Yeah, whatever. Also born on this day, now dead, Mitch Hedberg. And Dave Strader.
Good dude.
Stars play-by-play man.
Very, very cool guy.
Yep.
Very cool guy.
Died on this day, still dead. You've got Robert Fulton. He built the first steamboat. All right. Don Knotts. Who's he?
The Andy Griffith Show or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
And Harold Ramis.
The great.
Oh, so great.
That's maybe what are we like top 5
And that was today
comedy film writer ever.
history.
Put
Based
that
on what?
Put that resume up there, bro.
Ghostbusters.
Animal House, Meatballs, Caddyshack, Stripes, Ghostbusters, Caddyshack 2. Maybe we can leave that one out. Groundhog Day.
Didn't he have
That's
a long,
pretty freaking good.
a long feud with Bill Murray?
Very long. And I believe it was only really rectified like when he was about to die.
I've just recently learned of a long-standing feud between Wayne and Garth. Did you know there was that?
No. That's
Maybe I'll save that for later this week.
Somebody sent us a Reddit thread of beaver hunt pictures, and it is not close-ups. These poor women.
Oh, it's
Really?
like you see their whole face?
It's you can just be told they're hey, just lay on the bed here. Yeah, to be a little provocative and put your hand down there.
It's real
Let
nasty,
me
isn't
snap
it?
this picture.
It's nasty.
I'd probably flip right to it.
Yeah, sure.
Ugh.
It's people's grandma right now.
Well, you know, it's not like Hustler was well known for being
Right, tasteful.
Yeah.
so 70s.
We did have a community hustler in the bathroom at the dorm. It was only 4 guys, like 2 guys in one room, 2 guys in the other. So that's not that bad.
I see no problem with that.
But we would just
Until you
leave it
start
there
to learn what everyone else's favorite pages are.
Mm.
Marked territory here.
For some reason at the time, I never thought any of that was dirty or unsanitary.
That's
now I would just hate the fact that anyone else was going in that bathroom at all.
I know, and I don't look.
But
we all go through our own personal developments, but it is weird to me to imagine you, because I'm still pretty much how I was then. But like you're the guy who was on the mayonnaise and mustard acid bus to Daytona Beach, just sleeping in cars every now and then.
Yeah.
And now it's
again,
you know,
growth.
Are they gonna have edamame beans there or some uppity thing?
I do like edamame. Anyway, let's go back to Craig and Dan for closing remarks. And you know what's great at the end of a show?
What's that?
Or the end of a long day is some early bird CBD.
Oh, no doubt.
earlybirdcbd.com. DumbZone is a single-use discount code. You can get 20% off.
It's the good stuff. If you've been fooling around with what somebody tells you is, quote, CBD, you need to try Early Bird CBD at earlybirdcbd.com. There's real THC in it, 2.5 milligrams, get you going nice. Check it out, earlybirdcbd.com. Promo code DumbZone, you'll get 20% off. These are not for you if you're taking a drug test. These are for you if you want to put a smile on your face and hang out and celebrate some closing remarks.
Got to use that promo code there, Dan.
Well, having a CDL keeps me off of the early bird list to begin with.
You'll get there.
It'll be all right. One of these days I won't.
He's a driver.
Commercial driver's license?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I drive commercials every day, bro.
You do.
This guy's he's an unpaid slave.
What does that mean?
Underpaid.
Like a big rig?
Yes, that's
UPS.
correct. UPS.
Oh, okay. Is that tough driving one of those? Looks fun.
Traffic isn't fun, but outside of that, it's I enjoy it.
You mostly like how often are you home over the years? What's your normal?
The schedule I'm on right now, I get off early Friday mornings, and then I go back in early Tuesday morning.
Okay, and you could be anywhere by Thursday.
Oh, you're driving across country?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant your UPS driver, just the truck around town.
No, not anymore. No.
You were that?
Well, I never did the show up to your house and hand you your box. I never did any of that. But
okay,
just like airport to hub type stuff before that, or
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So
truck driver, kind of always been interested.
Don't get a lot of steps, probably.
No, you don't get a lot of steps. But oddly enough, the Apple Watch registers real bumpy roads as activity.
Yeah.
So I close a lot of my activity rings, even though I just sit behind a wheel.
Okay. Is it a big rig?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you go? So does your company, UPS, do they pay for the toll lane?
Everything. They pay everything.
Okay, so you're the a-hole in front of me.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's why he's clogging it. His company's paying for it.
Oh, what if I just go in this toll lane and drive slower than the posted limit?
No consequences.
The downside
It's
is
real
I
relaxing.
can only go 70.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and trust me, the people behind me know too. But yeah, I mean, if
But you're like, whatever, I'll just do that because I'm the most
well, I don't
important
want to
person
sit in
the world.
traffic. I'm not going to get paid to sit in traffic.
Yeah.
You sleep in the rig at night, like on the road?
I sleep in the rig when the other guy's driving.
Oh, okay. It's a 2-man job always.
Yep. Well, this one is. Yeah.
You carry a gun?
No, we're not allowed to.
That's surprising to me. Like independent contractor truckers, they do, right?
I would hope so, but I don't.
I just feel like those guys are sleeping on the side of the road a lot.
They are. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're sleeping wherever you can get it parked.
Lot lizards.
I only had one experience with a lot lizard, and it was a long time ago. She didn't approach me. She approached my partner at the time and asked him. She said, "I'll do anything you want for some breakfast." And he thought it was the saddest thing in the world, so he just went in and bought her breakfast.
That's not a good deal.
Yeah, damn, man.
Well, I mean, I guess it's good.
Think of the possibilities.
But
Yeah, but she was offering you a lot.
Yeah.
Have you ever showered at a gas station?
I have.
At a truck stop or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Flying J.
Yeah, I was just on the way back from.
Do you
Avs.
wear
Mostly Loves, but
Love's
Yeah.
great too.
Do you wear flip flops?
yeah, the little thin ones. Yeah.
Okay. I just get worried about.
I think Dan would be a good truck driver. Just focused, routine. I mean, I like routine, but nobody's doing it like him.
Pop a dip in.
Maybe a Lucy.
Yeah, I do like a little THC though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a problem. That'd be a problem. Especially now they have a nationwide clearinghouse. So if you fail a drug test at one company, everybody will know now.
Oh,
What are they going to do next? Do that with kids who get diddled by teachers? We
Maybe.
can't have everybody finding out
Right.
everything all over the place.
Yeah, it used to be if you failed a drug test, they'd just fire you and you go get a job somewhere else. But
the
now-
Catholic Church way.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
now everybody will know that you failed a drug test. So
That sucks. That's the man for you.
yeah, it is.
But what are you going to do
What
with
about
your
states'
winnings?
rights?
About a TV.
What is about states' rights?
TV's like, I guess.
That's right. You got a 100-inch TV, but you're on the road.
Yeah. My wife gets to watch it a lot. I bought her a new TV stand for it to go on too. She didn't
I
like.
bet she loves her life.
It's pretty sweet.
It's better now.
This guy's gone 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Comes back.
I'm home more
just with
now
a big
than I
pile
used
of
to.
money.
Yeah, I had a really long route where I was gone. It was 6,200 miles a week. So I kind of laughed when Blake was talking about how much he
I
drove.
was in my car and I paid for the gas.
But I had a 6,200 mile a week that we did, and I was not home very much at all.
You ever see any crime?
Not really. I mean,
Like a 9-year-old black girl walking on the shoulder.
Or
yeah,
anything
I've
like that? I don't
never
know.
seen anything like that.
You're kind of awake when the rest of the world is not a lot.
You ever have people do this?
All the time, and our trucks don't have UPS trucks don't have the air horn, so
Oh.
it sucks.
Is that still a thing kids do?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
'Cause that was-
grown-ups do that shit too.
All right, that was huge.
Yeah.
A huge part of my life.
Yeah, no, so we I guess some of the rest of the money we're spring break we're going to Sedona.
Nice.
So we bought a bunch of excursions and stuff out there.
You know what? It was worth it, Blake.
Hey, why are you trying to strip this man of his joy?
The wife and I are going to Chicago in April to see the Rangers and the Cubs. Never been to Wrigley. So
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. So, yeah.
Look at all. I was going to say that we've done for you, but we didn't do it.
Didn't
You
do
did it.
much. Yeah, and what's Craig's bid?
Did you put in your kid's 529 or something lame?
Man. Well, not long or right before the NFL season started, my AC went out, so we just replaced that. So that was always in my mind as I was picking games. I was like, I can help pay off this AC right here.
It's always fun.
So that is really lame. But we're gonna travel too. I didn't get into TV. I did look at TVs the other day for the first time, probably 10 years. TVs just aren't a thing you buy anymore. Used to is like, I want to get the next one. It's badass.
Yeah.
and they're all cheap and fairly cheap now too. They're not expanding or they're not getting different. They all seem the same.
Yeah, I had the same TV since I think it was Black Friday of 2019, and the TV that I replaced that with, I still have in the house. I mean, it works just fine.
It did used to be you would hear about like the new, even you talking about the CES thing
Right.
the other day, you would hear about like what the new thing in TVs was going to be.
And they would release like right before the Super Bowl or
Yeah.
something.
When we used to be a proper country.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been bothering me all weekend because I watched some high school basketball. There's a stat during the Argyle game on Friday that's just been staying in my head, and it was one of the girls. 90% of her points have come off offensive rebounds, and I just wanted to follow up. It was just a wild. How many points does she have? I guess? If she only had 10 points the whole year, I guess that would make sense. But is she a big scorer? Do you remember that stat?
Yeah, I mean, she only got the ball in the paint. So typically off a missed shot, she'd get the rebound and put it back in. She was never getting like post touches or anything like that.
It's
Off
still
her own missed shot too, a lot, I imagine.
There's some of that, yeah.
It's still a hilarious statistic.
For sure.
Like it doesn't
It stood out for sure.
It doesn't seem possible. Like again, and like he said, unless you have 5 points on the season, and it was like, well, 4 of them were. It's a very weird stat.
No, Huddle keeps stats like that, and it's surprisingly accurate. But yeah, she just did nothing but gather rebounds and putbacks.
Awesome.
Andy was trying to force in some new stats with you guys. Like
Yeah.
she leads in will to win, recovering loose balls or something.
Yep.
I think you told him you'd workshop it.
And that's, I guess I didn't hear the ending, but did they finish 80%, higher than 80% at free throw?
Oh, that's right.
I actually
Their
think
first
they did.
loss. They were like 4-0 during that, or
No, just in every one of their losses, they had shot under 70% from the line.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Not anymore.
Yep.
What happened to the boys?
Yeah,
did they get routed? I didn't see that.
Had a lot of problems.
The other game, was a little closer.
Yeah, the other game was exciting.
Didn't the boys only score?
Just like
in the
16
teens?
points or
Yeah,
something.
like 18. Yeah. No, it's
How'd
not.
the coach's kid do?
Yeah.
He did okay. It was a dark day.
You guys got any transfers or perhaps transitions coming up for next season?
So your guys' closing remarks
hit
is just interviewing Blake
the
about
transition portal,
Argyle basketball
and TVs.
Here, grab your check.
Oh yeah,
And
you got a
guys-
big check.
Yeah.
Oh, big check. Want to get a picture?
Yeah.
Right now.
Look at that.
$16,420.69.
That's sweet.
Look at that. Wow, right there in front of Chisholm Trail too, folks.
Incredible.
Awesome.
There's one thing that I got for y'all that's not arriving until tomorrow, and it's my favorite thing. But I do have something else, so I'll ship that other thing.
The arriving tomorrow guy.
Yeah.
I know it
Yeah.
well.
We'll
There
never
was-
we'll
me.
never see this item.
No.
It'll be with y'all this week. There was another thing in Denton. I live in Denton area. There's a store on the square that it's called the Mini Mall. It's been there forever. I hardly go in there, but if you walk by there, it's just swords.
Oh.
Everywhere. And I swear to God, I almost got y'all a sword, but I was picturing me walking up the street and do
Yeah.
Fox 4, so it's still maybe down the line. But for now,
There's a sword spot on the wall. So
yes. For now, I got a Toronto FC
Whoa.
Brandon Aubrey
Holy
jersey.
nice.
Oh,
That is
sweet.
awesome.
How'd you get that?
I just custom made. I tried Notre Dame.
Oh, you custom made it.
Sick.
Well, I just got the name put on the back, and I found his number. I tried
Okay.
the Notre Dame one. That seemed to be a little harder. The
XL.
the one I'm going
You're
to
gonna have to wear that.
All right.
Yeah, Dan got lucky. We need to book him just to wear that.
Yeah.
for no other reason.
And then the other gift I got y'all is similar to this, but I'll just let y'all open it when it comes in. It will come in.
Okay.
I did get y'all one little thing. I'll give it to you, Jake.
Okay. Love the Lucas, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, you got Lucas? Let's see.
This
Man,
is
Luka
like
one.
a pendant, if you will. I think you
Yeah, I
hold
think
up
it
to
might
the
be
camera.
a Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas ornament,
ornament or
perhaps.
something like
It
that.
is from Dearborn, Ohio.
Oh, it's a 9/11 memorial.
And it is to make sure that no one forgets.
For some reason, they had
Dearborn, Ohio. has it.
Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah, that popped up in my eBay when I was shopping for a autographed baseball for my wife. So I don't
go on.
I don't know. I don't know how that ends up in your eBay. You may also like.
What did your wife want? What are we talking here?
Oh, my wife's huge into baseball, huge, especially Rangers. So
okay,
what were you getting her?
I got her a bunch of them, but we've got Beltre, we got several Beltres. Josh Sorbs signed a 23 World Series ball. Who else did I?
So does this be like the stereotypical thing if you're trying to slow things down, but if he were to accidentally say it out loud and he's like, all right, 5, 4, 3, 2 down, like roll over on the, like if he starts talking baseball to preserve and she just loses it.
Yeah, that gets her going. It's like when I start talking about, steel products. My wife really likes the riding lawnmower.
Yeah. They make good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's odd. I can't imagine a worse gift if I was to present my wife with an autographed baseball for her birthday.
Oh no, my wife was over the moon. Over the moon.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think it would be great.
Make gifting a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
because I don't know what the hell she wants.
It's like a Pandora neck bracelet, but with cool stuff.
Yeah, and you get to kind of enjoy it too.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we got a whole room in the house and put she had a custom-made cabinet made that is shaped like a home plate that you put autographed baseballs in, so that's all in her. She's big bobblehead collector, so I had to put several bookcases together in order to display all her bobbleheads. So she's really into it. She loves it, and it's cool buying that stuff too.
So she'll be at our 9/11 softball tournament, sounds like.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah. We got the
Well, congrats, boys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
Let's
us
run it
up
back.
here.
This has been fun.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
Decent song, I guarantee that you'll hear it all day long. They play it at least 100 times a day till you're sick of hearing it and you're ready to say, I've heard this song enough for one day. There's so many other songs that they could play. I call and bitch at the radio station to play another song, but I'll have to hear this one over and over, over and over. They play the same songs over and over. Songs are great when you hear them at first, but when it's all you ever hear, it will soon become the worst. They play it till you're getting stuck in your head. Yeah, they play it even after you've already said, I've heard this song enough for one day. There's so many other songs that they can play. I call and bitch at the radio station to play another song, but I'll have to hear this one over and over, over and over. They play the same songs over and over. All they ever play is what's popular to hear. There won't be another trend on the radio next year. I hope you never hear the song on the radio, because if you ever do, then you're probably gonna go, I've heard this song enough for